Hello, hello. Hey guys. Hopefully, let's see if I can get this. Sorry. I'm trying to shoot this video on both. There we go. Okay, on portrait and sorry if it's delayed on portrait and landscape mode. So forgive me if it is a little off. Hold on just a second. And I'm streaming to multiple different devices. So hopefully this is okay. I'm streaming to, let's see, I think 4 different platforms at this point. So, and this is the first time I've tried to do this many things. So I'm kind of outdoing myself at this point. And yeah, but I hope everyone is having a great Saturday night. Is that what day it is? I'm at my parents'. So, hi. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, good. It looks like maybe I'm a little bit more hopefully centered. Now, how is everybody doing? Did you guys get a chance? Let me move my little mic closer to me. Did you get a chance to watch that? Do we want to call it a town hall? Can you call it a town hall when it's so arranged? I mean, it was not organic, to say the least. Quite bizarre. What did you guys think? It was very interesting for me to watch it with my parents, especially my dad, I think, because my dad has not been involved in any of the mix of all these things. My mom, I've actually kind of gotten her a little more into the. So both of my parents are very far right, we'll say, and for my dad to not be know all the ins and outs of the case, and for him to just kind of off the cuff watch Erica say her piece and to get his opinion, and for him to not be impressed at all and be like, man, she can't even answer a single question right. Like, she is quite bizarre. I think that was very, very telling. So I'm curious to see what you guys thought, um, what your initial reactions were. And, beyond that, I hope everybody's having a great start to their holiday season. My gosh, let's talk about start. We're already halfway through, at least. Let's see. I hope that this is coming through for folks. Um, let's see. This is a different, so I'm flipping back and forth between this, what I call StreamYard. That's the streaming service that I'm using to push all of these streaming platforms through. Sorry, this is more than you guys want to know, but that's why I'm kind of going back and forth. But I see my Instagram folks like coming through, but those comments aren't coming through on my main platform like they're supposed to be. So yeah, I would love to hear any thoughts that y'all had on the interview that you heard. I definitely thought that there was a whole lot of non-answers. And then, I mean, how many memes are we going to see? How many videos are we going to see with the eyes? The I can't even do them right because my eyes don't look like that. Can I get a comment for that? I mean, If I don't laugh about it, if we don't laugh about it, daggers, that's about right. It does. For me, it's one of those things where you can feel it through the screen. And not just through one screen, I feel like you can feel it through multiple screens. It goes through multiple dimensions. Can you imagine being a small child and experiencing the wrath of those eyes, of that attitude? That's that's scary, in my opinion. I think, like, man, if you were a baby that was really facing the cry it out stage, you'd be in for a tough night. If sh It's bad. Okay, let's see. All right, Blake is trying to join in on our show. So stand by. I'm going to add Blake to the studio. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to copy this link for Blake. And here we go. Hey, look, we are getting fancy tonight, I guess. Or we're going to do our best. Either it's going to be fancy or it's going to be a train wreck, and y'all are going to be here for all of it. What do you say? You might have a nightmare tonight. Yeah. So, okay, my boys are pretty invested in this whole thing. Say what you want to say. Look, I mean, they did they're my kids, okay? So, so they come by it honestly. They're gonna be exposed to this stuff. Okay, I see Blake. Blake, let me go ahead and add you to the stage if you're ready. Can I I'm gonna unmute your mic. Oh, wait. You Okay, Blake chose to mute himself, so hold on. Let's see. Does that mean I hope that means you wanna add yourself, Blake. Oh, you want me to do the eyes again? Okay, hold on. Oh gosh, maybe okay, Blake, you gotta unmute yourself. Okay, we'll take Blake off so I can get the full screen for a second while Blake tries to figure out how to unmute himself. Now I'm gonna become the meme. Okay. Somebody we can pretend to be Barry Weiss saying, so all of these conspiracy theorists out there, they're really making up all of these terrible lies about what could have happened to Charlie. And then that Candace Owens, what do you want to say to them? Stop. Was that good? That's the best I got. That's the best I got. Clip. Cut. Okay, Blake, can we figure out how to unmute you? It says that you chose to mute yourself. Can I send you a new link or something? I mean, the people want to hear from you, Blake. I'm certain of it. Do you want me to send you a new link? Maybe you joined from a new device. Trigger Smart, do you wanna come up here? Do you want to join in on the fun? Okay. Oh, okay, okay, Blake said he's gonna let me know when he's ready, I think. But in the meantime, I'll hold down the fort. And if there is anyone who would like to join. Oh, okay. Thank you for reposting the stream. All right. I think I am starting to get the hang of this now. Okay. It may be actually populating to all of the different platforms, which is really exciting. I feel like I am okay. I'm figuring this out. Thank you guys for bearing with me. So, just to kind of roll through it from the beginning. Um, Man, I wish that I had again. I'm kind of doing this live from my parents' house, and I was watching this with them and trying to sort of take notes while I was also feeding my kids. And so, anyway, it was fascinating. First of all, I was really disappointed with Barry Weiss. I mean, not that my expectations were super high, but I will say that I felt like I started off the beginning with like I posted in my Instagram stories. I said, Barry, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And needless to say, she did not prove me wrong. It was such a letdown um, in terms of her journalistic abilities. I was not expecting to hear so much of her, what I would call agreement in the background. This, hmm, 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 hmm. I mean, I'm like, is that her nervous? Is that her tick? Surely that's not her as a journalist giving this constant agreement and reinforcement to her guest in the background for like no reason. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Did anybody else notice that? Y'all let me know if you were noticing that too, because it felt weird to me. It was excessive. It's like, okay, this gal did not need your boost of confidence and reassurance at this point. I'm pretty sure she's confident enough on her own that she doesn't need your reassuring. Hmm, hmm. So that was odd. The guests that, as though these people were the general public, and they started out with, oh, yeah, so I see. Yeah, so excessive. Thank you, Truth Warrior, for noticing that. It was so excessive. At first, I thought, I was like, where is this noise coming from? And then I realized it was definitely coming from Barry. um, Again, my dad noticed, and I tried to stay kind of quiet just because I really like to get the authentic reactions from those around me, especially my boomer parents. Uh, but my dad noticed whoever the first guest was with his lengthy title, when he approached the mic and they read out his whole title, and I'm terrified to flip out of the stream right now because I don't want to mess anything up. Oh, thank you, NJ Conservative. Appreciate you so much for reposting. Um, but yeah, the first guy, when he approached the mic to ask the question, I'm sure y'all saw it too. She put the eyes out as soon as he started asking the question, leaned in. Oh my gosh, it was scary. It was terrifying. And I felt like she was leaned so far in. I'm like, is she really going to try to intimidate this guy from her chair? It just felt that way. It felt like she was trying to intimidate the guy asking the question and all of us at home. It's just so weird. Everybody's like messaging me wanting to ask what happened because so many people were out and about. This is a prime Christmas party night. So I guess that's why they aired it on a Saturday night. They were hoping for, all of us at home who had nowhere better to be that they could catch us, and then everybody else that'll make the rounds on all the Sunday morning talk shows, and then they can make hay of it for the rest of the week, leading into AmFest on, on this week. Brilliant marketing strategy, and dare I say, quite orchestrated. Quite orchestrated. It coming in case you don't know much of anything about me, and thank you again so much for everybody who has reposted this stream, because y'all might have made it here without knowing who the heck you're watching. Um, my name is Kelly Raybon, and I was in TV for 12 years. I used to be an investigative reporter. I worked all over the country at local TV stations. My work has been featured in a wide variety of places, like all the way up to the Datelines and the 60 Minutes. I've changed laws all over the country. Um, like put lots of people behind bars. I have made a difference that will long outlive me, which I always say is like the my biggest goal in life. So I'm grateful to have done meaningful work like that. And anyway, I have been for the last 10 years being a mom, a full-time stay-at-home. Well, I transitioned to being a stay-at-home mom, but then I got divorced and I became an influencer, quote unquote influencer. But this is my real passion, digging into things and doing investigations. And so that's how I wound up back into this type of work. My kids were involved in the floods this summer. This is more than y'all wanted to know about me, but I just want to be super authentic and candid if we're going to take some time to get to know each other. And so thank you so much for being here as I see more people kind of pouring in. It means a whole lot to me that you're spending a little time of your Saturday night with me. And I hope to give you a really good recap of what, what went on tonight in the show. So, um, all right. So that was the first question. Then when we transitioned into, gosh, I want to say the second question, that's when we saw another really weird, let me try to pull up my notes here. That's when we saw another really weird expression. By the second question, my dad, who I thought, again, was really funny. Let's see. I know I have in as time marker 707, and maybe I can pull that up in a minute. She said, "You're sick." So we'll have to pull that up in a minute. You're sick. I'm sure it was something along those lines. But my dad had said by the second question, he's like, "Does she actually answer anything here? Like, she doesn't answer any questions." So, hey, Trigger Smart, sorry. I'm trying to do the best I can. Blake said that he is planning on attending. He just needed a few more minutes because he had a Christmas party. So, in the meantime, you're going to get me. And I'm gonna make the best of it while I try to, hold down the fort in the meantime. I wasn't planning on doing just the solo Kelly show, but here we are, and I'm winging it. Okay, so I also noticed then at 7:12, she said they gave him a bullet in the neck, and so I want to remind everyone to listen very carefully and very closely to what this girl says. Not this girl, sorry, that was rude. To what people say, when they say it, how they say it, and what they say, especially when you are listening to someone as refined as Erika Kirk, someone who is doing a media tour. I mean, look, she's not talking, you know, off the cuff in her parents' the house, on a Saturday night on YouTube, okay? Exactly, Reese. How she says it is the tell all. And she the way she says it with her face, the words coming out of her mouth, the emphasis, the storyline, but when she says they gave him a bullet in the neck, it's like, okay, they. There was also something that she had said yesterday, the day before, um, when let's see, what was the phrasing? But she said something about this instead of it. It's just I want you to be very, very, like, tuned in. Even it's worthwhile to go back to the beginning, and I was thinking about, it might be my project tomorrow, so maybe by Monday, if you'll check back in with me, but I'm thinking that I plan on going through and, like, compiling all of the, interviews that I can find and speeches and whatnot that she's done, and just, like, listing all the links out to make, like, a little repository. Not just I mean, in part for my reference too, but so everyone can go in and look and have a place where they can review, because the story it's in the details, but, like, it's pretty obvious too. You just have to listen. You just have to listen. Exactly. Is they. No, I don't think they was supposed to be Tyler Robinson's pronoun. Exactly. So beauty, I see. Thank you for your comment. I don't think that they was Tyler Robinson's pronoun because we have no indication that Tyler was preferred any sort of pronoun other than a I guess traditional he, him. Um, yeah, I have not seen anything official or unofficial that Tyler was transitioning or had a different view of himself than just male. And if anyone else knows anything different, then please, by all means, please feel free to weigh in on that. But oh, thank you, thank you. Let's see, Kelly from the UK. I appreciate you're waiting? Okay, so it hasn't aired there yet. Well, it's a hot take. Okay, so we're only talking about, like, the second question in, and I was just sharing that my dad, who knows not much of anything about this, was so unimpressed. He's like, "Does this woman even know how to answer a question? Because she has not answered a single question yet." I'll fast forward a little bit, just to say some of my other again, I'll tell you my dad because I just think my dad, his color commentary was so cute because he does not have a dog in this fight. My mom and I were trying to tell him about, give him the Cliff Notes version of this stuff a little earlier because he thought that I was absolutely nuts for wasting my time on all of this. Okay. And after watching, Erica will say in real time, he saw it, he got it. And I guess I could say selfishly, kind of my hope is that a lot of other people got it too, that they could read between the lines and used discernment. I hope that the 2025 word of the year is discernment. That is a skill that is under development. Yes, please. Oh my gosh, they won't even let you show your national flag in the UK? That is so crazy. Okay, yes, we're gonna let Trigger Smart come in because I absolutely enjoy all of his takes. Okay, let me send him in the meantime. And then I'll keep telling you too about dad's reactions as well. just because it's kind of fun. So anyway, okay, forgive me if, I don't think this will offend anyone here. But so he said minus he said, now of course she didn't have the Erica didn't have the cackle. He said, but beyond that, she kind of answers questions like Kamala Harris, meaning that she doesn't answer questions. So I don't know, take that for what you will. That was the opinion of a 73-year-old man. Um, yeah. I think Triggers let's see if Trigger Smart's trying to pop in now. I think he's trying to come through. Okay. Oh, and then she said she could give Kamala a run for her money with the nonsense babble. I do agree with that. And with the tears. She has gotten the okay, Reese, yep, I can send that to you too. Yes, and with the dabbing too. Look, Barbara, I'm just telling you, that's what my dad said. Okay, it was just his take. It was just his take. Just have a little laugh, okay? It's just what he said. Look, if we don't laugh, we will cry. Maybe like Erica. She has gotten better at real tears. And I was wondering how in the world. Okay, here we go. He's coming on through. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, welcome to the party.
You got me with the eyes. I was like, I have to join.
Thank you.
This is top level acting here.
I was not prepared to really turn the eyes on, but thank you for pushing me.
Yeah, I was getting caught up on this stuff. It's pretty interesting. Now she is getting insane amounts of exposure right now. Anything and everything, the book that we don't even know if Charlie wrote.
I've noticed that I would love to actually put together a little montage of the amount of people this week, even just on Fox, who I guess had these little slips of saying you wrote or your book. It would be quite funny to pop all of those together in a row because it happened over and over and over again.
So it would go viral for sure.
Okay, I'll add that to my list tomorrow.
You do your own editing.
Yes, all of it myself. I need an assistant. So if anybody out there is watching, listening, wants to make a few extra bucks, holler at your girl because I could use some help, please. Please. I have so many great ideas and just not enough time to do it. I'm like spread way too thin. So, yeah, please help a sister out. We can do big things. Mm, truth. That's what I was going to get to next. Was waiting to drop the surprise of the hunter showing up. My goodness. Oh. Okay, yes. Also, yes, the photos of her drinking and hosting events. So I pulled those yesterday as well. Yes, now everybody's rolling in with their comments and stuff. I had pulled those pictures. I did the longest scroll back on this girl's Instagram of anyone who I had ever scrolled back all the way to 2014. I'm like, I never want to scroll back that far on a person's Instagram ever again in my life. but I did the long scroll and I saved all kinds of photos. Let's see. I can hold them up to the camera.
I have
But
videos just from the last 2 or 3 weeks that people are saying that I was lying because the
what?
picture and video wasn't up.
Say what?
Yeah, well, so I have videos that I have posted on YouTube. They got, 100,000 plus views, and people are like, "You're lying. These images and videos aren't there." And I was like, "What?" And I went back, and then she scrubbed a bunch of them.
She did?
Yeah, apparently they're not there anymore. People can't find them,
Oh my gosh. Interesting.
and they're all doing that. COVID, a lot of the TPUSA crew
Oh
is just
yeah.
wiping their history.
Well, yeah, because they realized that like it got too hot. It got too hot in the kitchen. Yeah. So here's one I was like, "Ooh, does this look like Charlie's girl?" You know.
I mean, that was Charlie's girl before she met him.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, yes, it was, but I mean, and maybe that's who he wanted at the time, Like maybe he liked the idea of somebody kind of I say dangerous or whatever, but like somebody who was like a little more edgy than him, because he comes across, I mean, I didn't know the guy, right? But he comes across as being a little more
Virginie.
straight edge. Oh, and then there's the well, yeah, the Dan Flood. Yeah. You've seen those?
Uh-uh.
Oh, the gay stuff?
Uh-uh.
Oh,
But I've seen that for a lot of TPUSA men.
oh man, you're missing out.
Am I though?
For real. It's
Was he
spicy.
was he in a feature film?
I hadn't seen feature film stuff, but like modeling. And then I think maybe he was like he might have been like a bouncer or something in like a gay bar as well, but this was modeling. Here, let me pull it up. I mean, everybody has a past, it's fine, but like, you know, you know.
Yeah, but a Christian organization run by
It holds a different standard.
yeah.
Yeah, it holds a different standard. This one especially. Sorry. I don't have a poker face, in case you haven't noticed. So, I pretty much just like yeah, tell it like it is. Here, let's see, the easiest for me to just pull up. Hold on. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, what did y'all think about what did you think about the Hunter Kozak moment? Did you see that, Matt?
I was just got done just reading it right now. Interesting.
It
He was the one
was
he was the one that was asking questions, right?
yeah. So when he showed, I mean, I thought it was very bizarre for him to be there, and then I found it very weird that she says, "Well, you know my heart." And as I was mentioning earlier, I'm like, when any of these folks say things, you have to listen to every word, okay? And why would she say, like, you know my heart? How well does Hunter Kozak know your heart, Erica? Okay. Um, when Hunter was with the Unfuck America tour, why shall we assume that Hunter Kozak knows your heart so well?
Does he have any TPUSA affiliations?
He was very anti.
He was anti Charlie. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he traveled with another company and a group of people that went to harass Charlie at all his
Mhm.
events for years.
Yeah, see, okay, the fiery picture said, "Oh my god, yes, that was so weird when she said, 'You know my heart,' like they know each other." Thank you. We picked up on that. My gut says, okay, my gut says, because I believe that this was all prearranged, that that Hunter was picked to ask that specific question and placed in that spot to ask that question at that exact time. And I'm not talking about tonight. I'm talking about on 9/10 for a reason, you know. I mean, as everything was choreographed on that day,
Well, it's
including
very interesting.
asking that question at that same time. Yep.
Well, it's very interesting that everything that everyone says about her is always kind. She's very motherly, very supportive, very empathetic. So, like that guy, even Josh Peterson, the whistleblower, that was saying that there was a bunch of corruption going on and, behind the scenes corruption that he knew 100% with money and also with Mossad agents and things being there.
Mhm.
He even said in his interview on Billy and Brandy's show a couple of days ago that she was like one of the kindest, nicest people and he liked her. So I think that's a common thread.
That Hunter said that?
No, Josh Peterson, the
Josh.
whistleblower.
Oh, the Pete. Okay. Hmm. Well, hmm. I don't know much about him. I'd be curious to know, how long he worked there, when he worked there. Um, I have I know some people who know I have multiple friends who were friends with Charlie, okay? And I have multiple friends who were I have multiple people in this orbit, okay? And um they rarely spent time around Erica. That's all I can say. She was not around. And I just find it very, very interesting that, you know, how can we think of times how many times was she actually involved in TPUSA stuff that was not the time that she was wearing the big pink fluffy dress on stage that we've seen those clips pulled up, you know, a few times, or the like maybe one other time on stage, um, or a couple of podcast times. Like, was she out doing campus tours? Was she going to White House stuff? Was she going to, you know, support other campaign stuff? Was she doing anything like that to support TPUSA or grinding it out with Charlie? And if not, I mean, what the heck does she know about running TPUSA and being the CEO? And no, I see someone asking if it's a sin to be a kind and nice person. Of course not. I'm a very kind and nice person um to the extreme, so much so that I get run over far too often. My friends will tell you that. You know, I err on the side of kindness and niceness far too often. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, when it comes to an investigation, things like that, I call the shots like I see them. because I can't risk doing anything else.
According to the internet, from 2018 to 2025, she attended events and spoke occasionally. 2019 to before she became a CEO, her primary focus was podcasting and faith initiatives aligned with conservative themes. So her faith-based podcast, her Bible 365 book or whatever that is, I think that was mainly her focus.
Okay. So not TPUSA.
Technically, no.
Okay. Got it.
The whistleblower mentioned occasionally she would come into the meetings. So, like he said, when he first started and was doing his orientation, she just happened to show up with Charlie and she was hanging out with the new people and stuff. So, I guess she was around, at least for him.
Mm. This is not an Erika Kirk slamming event, by the way. This is just where she's put herself out there and over and over and over again, uh, to the point that we can't look away. So yeah. And I also think about my children watching this one day. My children are watching this stuff, and I guarantee my children they've noticed from day one. They're the ones calling it out. I'll tell you, they're the ones calling it out before I was calling it out. And you'd be surprised. Kids have incredible insight.
And you have to remember, too, that this organization is, they're shaping the future. They're talking to kids, they're going to high schools and colleges.
Hmm.
So if they're doing something corrupt, which there's been a lot of corruption and a lot of questions within that organization, then we need to know about it as the public because our children are exposed to it. And they just passed some kind of law. Was it in Texas where they're going to put TPUSA chapters in every high school, mandatory?
Yes. Yep. So I did this story about that this week. Oh my gosh, it's been a long week. I did a story about that this week. And guess what? Yesterday they did it in Tennessee. So they're moving fast and furiously
Well,
to make sure that Turning Point, which they're calling college, or excuse me, I can't remember this name that now they've come up with for it. But anyway, they are they're making sure that it is pushed through everywhere quickly while they're going to strike while the iron's hot. I see Brian asking who really wrote this new Charlie Kirk book. Your guess is as good as mine, but I think a lot of people are wondering the same thing.
well, they're pushing this book, and at the same time, they're scrubbing his accounts and removing his old videos,
Hmm.
lots of them.
Yep.
So why are they erasing his history and they're pushing this new future?
Yeah.
Lots of questions.
Lots of questions. It's just it's unsettling. It's unsettling because, there are I wasn't a big Charlie person beforehand, but I've spent so much time researching all of this, going back through a ton of the college events uh because I've studied his securities approach, his demeanor. I've wanted to look and understand because I felt like I had a lot of catching up to do to be able to properly speak to and understand the dynamics. Like I can't get on here and talk about things that I don't get, right? So I've watched what I feel like thousands of hours of content about Charlie. And so I have respect for the guy. Um, but it's taken it in a whole different direction, man. This is not what it used to be at all. Um, Let's see. I see someone saying Josh, the whistleblower, said that Charlie was very busy traveling and not aware of the negative stuff happening at TPUSA. I could see how that could be the case. I could see how that could be the case. I mean, that happens with a lot of CEOs it's like when what's the saying? When the cat's away, the mice shall play.
And that could also be why he did the Doge audit that he called for that they have since canceled since he died.
Mhm.
He came back and noticed something, started an audit, and then now he's gone.
I still maintain though that while that could be a plausible reason for, for it could tie into his death, it also could be part of the setup. It could be if it is fake, it could be like planting the seed for a fake event. I always have to drop in what I think, Matt. I always have to couch it.
You wouldn't be you if you didn't.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about Kozak. So I'm reading a review on CBS News. So Hunter Kozak was the last person to debate Charlie Kirk before he was shot. Since that day, Kozak, a self-professed liberal, has continued to call for civil political discourse. For those that don't know, he also followed around Charlie. There was an organization that was possibly doing some sketchy things around basically trying to suppress Charlie and his group. And they would go to all their events and show up with a bunch of people and basically just try to harass him. And he attended the CBS News Hall tonight, and he took the microphone and he asked Erika Kirk, will you condemn the violence rhetoric of Donald Trump, the most powerful and influential person on earth? He specifically referenced President Trump accusing 6 Democratic lawmakers of seditious behavior, punishable. Well, it is legally punishable by death, right? So he wasn't just saying that from his own opinion. That's actually a law saying hang them. George Washington would. Erika Kirk didn't mention Donald Trump by name in her response, saying the issue is so much deeper than one person and that it starts at the home. And as many of you know, she's very close with Donald Trump. She was in his pageants. She's regularly at the White House, it sounds like, and they hug and give each other a kiss on the cheek every time they see each other. She says, you can choose to have evil in your heart, or you can choose to have light. What you consume and what you absorb from the outside world will manifest itself. So it's interesting. Now I wonder if Hunter Kozak's going to start harassing her and following her around.
It seemed like they had a good, interaction there, but I don't know.
He was respectful to Charlie when he talked to him. And he even
Yeah.
told him, when he mentioned the trans stuff, he's like, I'll give you that. But, right. So he wasn't really yelling and screaming and calling him names and that kind of stuff. He was being pretty respectful overall.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think of course, I think my opinion in this whole charade is that I think that he was planted there strategically.
Yeah. Too many
Um,
coincidences around the timing, what he asked, when he asked it, and what happened at that time.
Too many coincidences about the whole thing. Yes. Let's see. I saw one. Wonder what Elon thinks about this. He's been keeping real quiet. You know what, Kelly? I saw, and it was in the middle actually of a live stream the other day, and so I didn't get to click on the article, but I had seen a push alert come through on my phone. I don't know, maybe some. Well, I don't want y'all to leave the live stream, so don't do that. But I did see an article that had been published, but I didn't get to, like I said, I didn't get to read it yet. But it said that Elon was saying that he felt like he couldn't leave his house since since the Charlie Kirk incident, I guess with the exception of the memorial. So I don't know uh if there was any additional context since then, if he was saying that he had some other level of paranoia or he'd been receiving any kind of messages. I don't know. But yes, I agree. He has been keeping pretty low profiles. And how odd is it too that, these, whether it's JD or Trump or Elon, whoever, I mean, these are people who are pretty outspoken and they have not said much of anything since then. And also actually on the point of the way people say things and phrase things, I have a real problem with the way that these journalists, including like Barry Weiss tonight, uh, would say, you know, the Tyler Robbins, they would so definitively say that, that the man who killed your husband, the man who killed Charlie, they're not even saying accused or who's been charged with killing him or any allegedly. I have a real problem with that. So I'm just going to throw that out there because it is just not right from a journalistic perspective. Where did we go in this country that you are not innocent until proven guilty?
There's a really good question. I think it's probably for you. What do you think is the purpose of this setup? What are they positioning Erica for or for her to do? What's the point of all this? Seems divisive on the right and the left.
I think that they early on thought they were positioning her to run for office, maybe alongside um, Vance. But even though she has absolutely no experience whatsoever, I definitely or another key office. I mean, Arizona does seem to have a very, like, hot political scene, but I think that people are not taking to her the way that they expected, so I'm not sure. But I definitely I think that they're going to continue to force her down our throats until we've had enough. What do you guys think? Let us know. Drop it in the chat because I'm really curious.
I heard something interesting today. I'm trying to remember who it was. It wasn't Jimmy Dore, but basically they were insinuating that, Charlie was kind of pulling away from the nation state overseas and wasn't happy with the donors and said he had to pull away from that cause. And then now
Mm,
since he's passed, he said that basically everyone's saying that now TPUSA is overly pushing that he supported them and they've accepted these donors and now they're pushing that direction and the Shabbat Shalom with the book and everything. So it seems like they are going the exact opposite direction of where he was going. They're not
mm.
keeping his vision.
Yep.
And that's pretty sketchy, especially considering they say they're not involved in his assassination.
Oh goodness. I've seen how I'm already somebody on Twitter. Somebody did capture me doing the Erica eyes. So I can't wait to watch that once we're done with the live stream. That's going to be a good one. We do have someone who wants to be a guest, so I'm gonna send her an invitation too while we are chatting. But this is fun. I'm excited. Oop, hold on one second. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, you guys are also thinking that this whole thing, I see that we are feeling like it is she's demanding that we take her seriously, but who can when it's coming across so fake and that it seems like we don't have a Bill of Rights. It's so unfortunate. It's very frustrating. And I don't know, for the record, I want to say that, like, I don't know where to stand on Candace. Nobody's asked me that tonight, but I don't know where to stand on Candace because some days Some days I feel look, I appreciate her speaking out. Some days I get real frustrated with her. Some days I'm like, "Oh man, you are really reading or sending us down a long rabbit hole that I am not here for." And it makes me feel like she's, I don't know, opposition or something. Sorry, I'm trying to send this thing real quick. But um at the end of the day, I think we just have to remember that she doesn't speak for all of us. So we just have to keep pushing forward and trying to do the best investigations that we can, and know that we don't want people to discredit the work that all of us are doing, you know, and just know that like she's not our chief investigative officer, and but also that I don't want to like disavow her either.
So I heard that Tim Pool and what's his name, Nick Fuentes,
Mhm.
they're basically saying that they think she might be some kind of operative or something similar, and they were going to expose her. So that's what they're working on. That's their homework.
Well,
But I liken her to a boxer, right? She's poking, she's jabbing, right? She's jabbing
yeah,
TPUSA and doing all that, and then she's waiting for an opening.
that's a you know what? That's a really good analogy. I love that analogy. I love that analogy. She's keeping them on their toes. She's keeping them yeah, she's looking for those weak spots. And hey, she finally got Eric, Erica's finally talking. It's taken her 3 months to talk about some of this stuff. And man, if that's what it took to finally get us to see Erica's evil eyes, then so be it, I guess.
So Holy Moly says Erica must have forgotten her New York Times interview where she discussed her and Charlie's dinner the night before in Utah, and they discussed threats. And Erica asked Charlie to wear a vest at the event. Can you send a link to that? Do you have something that has that documented?
I have that. Do you want me to I can pull if they want to, I can pull that up. I see Brittany's we've got someone coming in.
Yeah, because a lot of people say like, I look at these theories and I review them, but I review them from both angles.
Mhm.
So I would love to do a pro and an anti Erica video separate. So I want to know all the pros.
And for the New York Times one, I'll pull it up. I have a I think I have I'm like I can't remember if I have a New York Times subscription or if it's through my Apple News, but either way it's going to be behind a paywall. So, anyway, I know I have Apple News for sure. Okay. I'm going to
Oh yeah,
bring
I
up
guess it is behind a paywall. Yep.
yes. But that's okay. I can pull it up. Brittany, are you there? Let's see. Are you there?
Same thing as Blake.
Yeah.
Can you manually unmute her?
Let's see. Try muting the mic and then I'll take her back down and I'll check back in. Oh, let's see.
So her quote looks like I used to say, Charlie, have you ever thought about wearing a vest? She revealed. He would nod and be like, I've looked into it. But he would just say, if they're going to get me, they're going to
Mm,
get me. He wasn't afraid.
are you
Wouldn't have
there?
mattered anyways.
Oh, are you there?
Hi, yes.
Okay.
Hola.
I am so rusty at this, so I don't have the fancy like microphones and everything. So can you guys hear me okay?
Yep,
Yes.
we hear you.
Okay. There were so many things that you guys were talking about that I wanted to jump in on. Um I could go back to okay, one of them was when they're talking about the court or sorry, like the tainting the jury pool, and you guys don't know how the jury works, and you don't know how the court works. Well, then why would Erika go on and in the biggest thing, like presentation ever, to already convict him? Like, he's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So why would she say that man, that young man? You know what I mean? That's totally, if you care so much about the judicial system, well, then why would she do that?
And why was everyone saying that he should get the death penalty right away?
And still, did y'all see the Megyn Kelly thing? Oh my gosh, I had to tweet back on this thing today. It just sent me over the edge. It was really vile. She went off saying she wanted to be in the room, when Tyler Robinson got the death penalty. And basically, my thoughts were, look, what evidence have you seen, Megyn Kelly, as a lawyer? If you have you seen the evidence? You must have seen something other, surely, than we have. Because if you're saying that you want to kill someone just off of that rinky-dink probable cause document and the indictment, that tells us all we need to know about you. That's concerning.
She confuses me every day because she's like flip-flopping like a fish out of water. Like, because I did, the other day she, was on this side, and then that whole statement shocked me.
Yeah, someone mentioned the fake lip reading from the court appearance. So that came out, and it looks like it was a piece to try to get people to assume he's guilty and move the jury that way. And also, a lot of people say they're trying to get the cameras taken away. Someone else in your chat mentioned Mitchell Cohen says show trial. Yeah, as of right now, it's going to be on video. They're going to allow cameras. I don't know if they're going to allow audio, but I think they're going to allow cameras. So unless someone messes that up, we should see it publicly.
When is this supposed to go on?
There's going to be several. They have more pre-trials just around what the stipulations of the trial is going to be, like the rules and who can film who and that kind of stuff. That's still going on. They haven't even gotten to any evidence yet.
Okay. Well, Kelly and I talk, and we share a bunch of, things behind the scenes. So it's just, I feel like there's so much. It's like, which angle do we go down at one specific time? But if Charles McClintock's, if you go to his website, that is supposed to be so great. I mean, in the crowd is somebody that looks absolutely identical to his defense attorney. So, I mean, we can send you that. We just don't know which one to jump on.
Oh, I hadn't. Tell me about that. Identical to Tyler's defense attorney.
Yes. Okay. So the Charles McClintock. Okay. I'm sure he's I don't know much about him. He could be a very nice guy, but what I didn't notice was that what Paramount Tactical said was that he was so sure on this day, or whatever it was this, and then he all of a sudden got an email or something like on Wednesday, and then it totally changed his mind. So the email was about all these pictures that came out from Charles McClintock, and so then he goes into this whole thing about how, okay, well, everyone, the whole public is complaining that there's not a lot of blood. Well, but if this guy right here, I think this guy did the packaging, well, then there would be no blood on anybody. And make sure, well, sorry, whatever. Okay, so then, anyway, so I went to all of his website, and you guys can click through it yourselves. Like, there is, we're supposed to see one picture that proves Charlie was, that they carried him out face down. They didn't. But then one of the biggest things, if you go to this, you will see that in the crowd, I mean, you can zoom right in. There's a lady standing there, and I mean, it's without a doubt like spot on I can if one of you can pull it up, I can email it to you.
As far as the blood goes, the Charles McClintock photos are some of the only ones that do actually show blood, and they show a lot of blood, and you can see it on him, and you can see it on his security guys, and you can see it actually dripping from his neck, and they were carrying him out face down, and they assumed that Brian Harple had gauze in his neck, but it was not enough to prevent the bleeding, and we cannot show it here, but I can send it to you on the website. There's way too much blood. She would get her stream would probably get flagged or something.
Okay, that's great. Can you send it to me on the website? Because I've looked up his website and I don't see it.
Yeah, what is your how can I
Like, do you have access did he send you guys more photos than what's on?
No, but he has 3 or 4 different albums that people don't know about on his site.
Okay.
So there's more than one set of pictures.
Okay. I feel like I've gone through them all, but like I don't see it. But I guess my thing is I don't see him carried upside. Like, was
I
he
remember
carried
there
like?
were 2 main ones, but
I can send you. Where do you want me to send the link to? Actually, I think I can put it in the private chat. Can I?
yes, you
What?
can. Yep.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, if you go to the private chat, Brittany, you can see the link. And it's like the
Okay. Yes,
picture.
I've been
Around
here,
right
but
side.
so where's Charlie though carried face down?
the third picture. In all of them, he's face down. His right arm is the one that's on the left. His left arm is on the right. If you look close, you can see he's face down. You can see the indent in his elbow. You can see his shoulder, and you can see that his left arm is draped behind Brian Harple. A lot of people thought he was carried on his back, but he's not.
Okay, this is super interesting to figure out because then the videos show a different thing. That's what I've been trying to figure out. Okay, so that's interesting. Huh.
And I think that kind of shows, and nothing against you. Like obviously you hadn't seen this yet, but a lot of people I get hundreds or thousands of messages, emails, and texts that people are like, "No, this happened. No, there was no blood. No, there was that," because they haven't seen some of this stuff, and it's really slowing down the investigation because a lot of people aren't caught up.
Okay. So, but on these, but have you seen the video though, where he's clearly like they're holding him in like a barrel?
I have not. Can you send that one to me?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so question for everyone in the chat on X and YouTube, and I'm not sure where else you're streaming to, but can you do a poll?
Let's see here. We're getting fancy.
I want to know how many people think that Erika Kirk is compromised and she may not actually be evil. She's just being forced to do what she's doing.
Oh, that's a really good one.
'Cause
Okay.
I'm hearing that from a lot of people.
Hold on. Would that be... Do you know where I find that? I'm like, is that in media assets?
That would be, you'd have to do it directly through the YouTube stream studio or something similar.
Okay.
Maybe we can just maybe you can just say,
Okay, well, yeah, okay. How about just through the chat? So type a 1 if you, or how about type a C if you think that she has been compromised, and then type an N if you think that she is not compromised. How about that?
all right, let's go on 3. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
Seeing a lot of C's. Interesting. So now the other question is, do you think it's compromised from the aspect that she can't be trusted and she works for someone else? Or is she compromised as in she's in danger and she has to do what they say?
Oh, good question. Okay. All right, hold on. Wait. We'll wait until we'll give it like 1 more minute for all the people because there could be a little bit of a delay. And then we'll like, and then you come up with then the next, maybe we'll do numbers. So I'll let you pick the next. Sugar, you pick out the numbers that you want to use for that.
All right, I'm just trying to add up these. It's primarily C's so far. Couple N's. Couple capital N's. Okay, I see you capital N's. Some say a little of both.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is really interesting, actually.
She is owned, says someone.
Hmm.
Someone says no, she's completely
Manipulated.
being manipulated. I did hear, so just side note, I have to dig deeper into this, but I heard that Tyler Robinson's father owns the company that paved over the plot.
No, that's not true.
It's not? Okay.
No, it's not true.
Yeah, I want to verify that.
I have looked into it, and I've got info on the company, which is a whole other fun story.
Let me
Again, I
see.
need somebody to help me with all my video editing. But I've got a really good story to tell on that one too.
I'm trying to see what it said it was for the name. All right, so let's do the next one. So if you think Erika is compromised from the point of view that she works for another nation state or she works for someone else, put a 1. If you think that she's compromised as in she's in danger and she's being forced to do this stuff, put a 2. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
So 1, if she's working for a nation state or something like that, and then 2,
Primarily
if
ones.
and 2, if she's working for There you go. Okay.
Yeah. So primarily ones, a couple 2s.
Yeah.
No capital 2s this time. Yeah. While you're moving forward, I'm gonna look up where I found that information about his dad.
Okay, perfect. Oh, and oh man. All right, let's see here. All right. Let's see here. Oh, okay, Brittany. Hey there, Brittany, you make it back in?
Yes, I just wanted to share the video.
Oh, okay, good.
It took a while to get it, but obviously, like, one of you will have to put it up.
Okay. Yep.
I would
You
make sure I'll look at it first to make sure it's safe for the
Sure.
stream.
It's on our own. It's on like our Kelly and I and Allie's channel. So, but I do wonder where the face down thing came from because he's face up here.
Oh, were you able Oh, yeah, you were able to just put it into the private chat too. Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
he'll take a look at that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it is. I mean, you definitely see blood. So
Okay. Well,
you,
maybe we'll figure out then how to work with that at some point.
Okay.
and
Gotcha.
also the location that this was in. So basically, what it is they're carrying him out on his back as they're getting closer to the Suburban. So
Okay.
the picture is from McClintock because he was actually on the opposite side of the tunnel. He might have taken the shots before they got to that point. So he might have had him face down when they first came out of the tunnel, and then they flipped him over and then rushed him the rest of the way from what you're seeing in your video. That's definitely possible.
Okay. I mean, I think that's great. That's all I wanted to say is because like I think this is for me. It's like there's also some when you listen to the video, there's some commentary on it because I think this is like it's an interesting like tipping point. So I'll just like let's table that for later. Give it some research and let me know. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So I see someone talking about, well, people talking about, that this psyop is falling hard. Why do you think, Matt, assuming that this is a psyop, which, I definitely believe, assuming that it is, why do you think that it would be falling hard?
I think part of it is because you have multiple people doing their own psyops within the psyop. So their stories are falling apart. So you have if this is any government, whether it's ours or someone else, they had their plans and they had the people they had in place that were supposed to do certain things. certain people dropped the ball and said certain things or did certain things that broke the story. And that could have included theoretically, allegedly, like the FBI saying that it was a 30-06 in this rifle and this happened. They might have messed up the story. Or maybe the
Like
whatever
they
they were.
kind of went off script, or they got a little excited, or they
Yes.
spoke too
Yeah.
soon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even like I think it's Colvin and Erika Kirk
Mhm.
are contradicting each other. And like Candace said,
Frank
either
Turek, yeah.
Andrew's lying or Candace is lying, or not Candace, but Erika. So which is it? You guys decide between yourselves. I think that's
Mhm.
part of why it's falling apart.
Right.
And you have people like Frank Turek saying that Charlie talked to him and said he was worried about his life and people were after him right after Erika went on public television and said that he never said that. Right. And she has his phone.
Yes.
So
And then what is she doing with his phone? That should be
Yeah.
part of the, like, still part of the crime scene evidence.
Well, and that's why it's falling apart. Now, as far as the evidence goes, someone brought up a good point. Typically, they can take the phone and scrub it in one day. So they could have scrubbed it, gotten the information they needed from it, and gave it back to her, theoretically. But yes, you're right. If they didn't, then obviously she shouldn't have it. It's
Yeah.
evidence.
And just the handling of the evidence at the scene and all of it was just bizarre. Yeah. I mean, and I think that the way that, dare I say, we, collectively, the internet, the way that people handled this was different. The truth tellers, the people just banded together and said, this does not seem right. Like, I'm going to dig into it. I'm going to take it upon myself. I'm not going to just wait for somebody else to tell me what's what. I'm going to start digging. I'm going to start asking questions.
Someone said, when will Mikey, Erica, and Charlie's phone records be released? That may never happen. But if it's, that's only going to happen if the FBI or CIA or the police force them to release them as part of the case.
Or the defense, yeah. The defense, requests that, yeah.
That's a good question. The fiery patriot, who among his team knew about the PSYOP in advance? The key players would have to know, but if the people below them don't know as well, then you can run into issues with stuff like Frank Turek and Erica. You have people that say things that shouldn't. And some of those people have disappeared or wiped their accounts or possibly gotten fired, like the security team.
Mhm. I think most of them knew. And I still think it's worth considering, even if, I'm still on the team that I think that there's a good chance that Charlie is alive. But I also am keeping space for Charlie potentially, being gone. But even in that case, I would believe more that Charlie was in on it than that he wasn't. Just what my gut says.
You said you feel like Charlie is in on it?
Mhm.
He is? Okay.
That he was. Yeah. I think that would be that's what my gut tells me, that even if he is dead, that he knew that it was going to happen.
Let's do a poll on that. So for everyone in chat on X and YouTube, if you think that Charlie knew about it and maybe was in on it, put a Y for yes, and if not, put an N for no. Do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. That's about half and half so far. Interesting. Some capital N's, couple like 10 Y's in a row. All right. Interesting.
I mean, it's not all no's.
I'll be right back when I grab something to drink.
Okay. See, it's a mixed bag. See, he knew. Why would I think that? It would be, you guys, so hard for all of these people. Okay, I see somebody talking about not with his kids. There's so many aspects of this thing to pick apart. All right. So many aspects. What was the question? The question was, all right, I believe that my primary belief is that Charlie is still alive. Call me crazy, but I do still believe that Charlie is alive. However, my secondary belief is that he was in on his death and knew that it was coming that day and assisted in the planning of it. In part because I believe that if you watch, and you can call me crazy, he in that moment before the shot, there's a question, and when the question is asked, there's a pause, and you can see him close his eyes and brace, and it is very quick and close. You have to watch the video slow, but I guarantee that if you watch it closely and you will see it. You can come back and you can talk to me about it after you have watched that video, okay? I want you to watch it. You have to, going into that, you have to forget if you were a big fan of Charlie beforehand, I want you to forget about like the feelings that you had about Charlie before and be like, Charlie would never do that to us. Charlie didn't believe in this stuff. Forget about all of that, okay? You just have to let that go. Because you don't know what else was going on in Charlie's mind, what else was going on in Charlie's mind, what else was going on in his life, and what it was like running $100 million company. And if, I don't know, having another country supposedly coming for you, all of those things. However, could he have just been over it, like over life? And I don't know enough about all of the Masonic stuff or Freemason stuff. I haven't gone, I admittedly have not done enough research to know about all of this. Okay. But I would like to. So if someone wants to enlighten me about all of that, please. But you guys have got to remember too that he could be laying like these little eggs, little Easter eggs. We talked about Taylor Swift and her little Easter eggs. I think that Charlie laid more Easter eggs than Taylor Swift. So many clues that that if you go back and look and listen, that start to really add up and make sense. And you guys, don't put all your stock in Candace. Don't put all your stock in me, okay? I'm just trying to give you some theories. We're all working on this together, okay? But I am just trying to, you know, flesh some of this out with you. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hi. Are you
Hey, dear
back?
friend. I just didn't want to leave you hanging,
Oh, yeah.
like chatting by yourself. So keep talking and I'll jump in.
Okay. Yeah. No, I hadn't really talked about this one before. I've talked a lot more about the idea of the squib and the idea of just completely faking it. And so I thought, well, let me just talk a little bit more about what if What if he was just in on it completely? I mean, the idea that this whole thing was completely choreographed. There is no question in my mind that, this thing was choreographed from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I agree.
and so, I mean, one of the most convincing things to me is to see Charlie, what appears to me, bracing. I see his hands brace, and I see this brace in his face that I just think is a
Okay.
natural human anticipation.
Okay. So I have a thought about this. So like, for example, there's another case, and at the core of it, they got the one guy. Like they got the guy who actually did this. But now, is there more to it? And everybody felt like there was? Yes, because it had to do with um like gang, let's say like gang activity or whatever, and so those people, but like somebody went rogue and they got that person. So what I'm saying is that like when we either go from Charlie's in on it to versus and he's alive to versus he's absolutely not, could it not be that he finally he reached out to a different, like, higher agency, some other agency, um and which I don't know. I see. This is what I don't know, who's higher. But like when you said they're gonna, because if he really did say they're going to kill me, I'm surprised he would go out and do that, because there was um in Brian Harpole's interview, he's talking about how there were things different that day. They were going to have a meet and greet, and he said in a hard room, whatever hard. So that means inside, right? Okay, so then they changed that, but then we let our men go to the bathroom. I mean, do you really share that in a regular, like, I don't say like, oh, I had to go to the bathroom. You don't. They add in. Okay, so if there was, if Charlie would have reached out to somebody, then could it have been that they found the plot, they looked into it, and they had to, like, for murder for hire plots, you have to let it play out to see actually who was part of it. So, and you can look at in cases like Dahlia Dippolito. It sounds, or any murder for hire cases, they often, it's really awful and kind of vulgar, but they will ask sometimes those people who were targeted to, wear prosthetics and like fake their, so they have to show up with like a photo of them looking like they were murdered, and that person has to say, okay, job done. So if I'm just saying, like, if Charlie's still alive, then I don't believe he would do it manipulatively. I believe he would have been like, reached out to hire a different agency, said, hey, I think this group's going to kill me. And then a different agency came in and maybe like, looked into that. And then they had to see who walked away, who benefited after, who pretended, who didn't move, who.
You just have to remember, though, that he has President Trump behind him. He has the entire U.S. government. He has Israeli connections. He doesn't have to reach out to a different security group or a different company to take care of him. He could say, Donald Trump, take care of me. And he'd have the entire U.S. behind him, all the resources, military, secret.
And so he might have.
Yeah.
What if he did? Because like that's what I think that's the difference of like TP. So why is Erica also saying like my team is investigating? Okay, so is she talking about TPUSA, or is her team the FBI?
Right. And why is her team investigating? I mean, like that's just not typically how things work. And also, I mean, but typically, well, it is also not typical that a civilian's body is flown in Air Force Two, and so atypical that it has never ever happened before. It has never happened before.
So I'm late to the whole plane things, but I will say that okay, so Erica's speech, like at the big, what do we want to call it, WWE event. I mean, why did she mention the tarmac? Like, she mentioned the tarmac on Air Force Two. And so then otherwise I would have never thought of these things. So, and then in Brian Harpole's interview, he talks about, I know there was an autopsy. And he says, I know because I got a call from JD Vance and he just said, what do we need? And I said, we need an autopsy. So I know that there was one that like that doesn't, but that's not proof of anything. So their own stories, I'm just using their own words against them. That's just what's weird to me.
We have Hot Lips says, girl, please, he rich now, 140 billion already. He ain't worried about no one's feelings, period. LOL. So yeah, I mean, tons of money, right? Like not just like I think she got what 10 million just from donations. She got, I think they got like 50, I want to say 40 or 50 million from the book sale or t-shirt sales. And then there was another additional like 50 or 70 million or something that they got from somewhere else. So I don't know how much money they typically take in. I think they're, what was it, 98 million one year or something like that. So they've gotten more just in donations alone this year than they've gotten in previous years from everything.
In
So,
some previous years combined. Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So she's comfortable. She's set. She's set for life at this point.
And I usually love the chat. I think that's so important. So I usually love you. I will have to like step up a game where I have a different because if I'm talking on here, then I can't be in the chat. So I hate when people don't look at the chat. So I'm glad that you're reading them.
I'm trying to like fly through because the chat is hot. I love that people are so active in the chat. So I'm trying to like fly through and look. So forgive me, you guys, that I'm not responding as quickly as I would like to.
Well, I saw like 3,500 on X and like 800 on YouTube.
It's wild. But I see, yeah.
So CJ Carenti, you said, can you explain the massive transfer of energy to CK or the cavitation in his neck? I mean, come on. Are you talking about for the faked his death theory? I assume that's what you're talking about, maybe. So Algeist was saying that those prosthetics and stuff can pretty much, you know, it can obviously it can't do it as fast, but it can make it appear as though there's some bulging. And some people question that because in the video that you see in the images, you typically wouldn't see cavitation that way unless you use a slow motion camera. And most cell phones are not running 240 feet per second or faster. They're like 24 or 30. So it was strange to see it in the first place, to be honest.
I'm gonna try to scroll up a little bit, and I saw a few people mentioning the squib, asking if I saw the Charles McClintock Wilson photo that kind of showed. I believe they were referring to one that showed like
the bulge
what
of the neck
appeared to be the bulge of the neck. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, in reviewing all of these. I mean, I have watched so many videos of Charlie, okay, in trying to find anything. Like, I have studied his neck so much, trying to find, like, you know, looking like, can I find something that, you know, looks like he had a gap in his neck?
Do you want to share my, if you share my screen?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, perfect. Yes.
We can see it real time.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this will give you guys a great visual. Thank you so much, Matt. Okay, so you can see there this, for one, kind of that bulge right underneath his jaw looks abnormal. And Charlie did kind of talk a little bit, had a tendency to talk a little bit more out of one side of his mouth that I think some of us have noticed. But that bulge part seemed awkward. And then also, do you have the picture too that appeared to show almost like a bandage? Did you see that one, Matt?
I think a lot of people were saying this one did, but let me see. Do you know if it was part of the sequence?
It was part of that sequence.
I do recall that.
I think it was that original photo that we were just looking at.
I was thinking
it was right by his necklace.
It might be. Okay, click on that one. Yeah.
Hold on.
See if you can zoom.
Yeah, I have to hide. Let me hide this. I'm a software engineer, so I know how to do some tricks.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it, and I didn't see it in the other one either. But
Okay, there's definitely one of them. Hold on, while we're talking and looking, I know I have it saved, so I'll try to pull it up as well. I definitely do
Okay,
have it.
then right, Matt on that question, but thinking back on there while she's pulling it up. I'm not going to name names, but someone. Okay, I know that you were debunking. So I don't even know, but they were
electrocution.
talking. So I'm following this, but all I know is someone was saying, "Well, that can't be his necklace or something because look at the braiding." And I was like, "His necklace isn't braided." But that was not you who said that. So I was like, "What necklace is he wearing that's braided?"
Yeah, I mean, I mean, he's a big dude, right? He's like 6'4", 6'5", and that's a pretty beefy necklace on him. It's obviously not like a ham bone or something, but it's a pretty decently thick necklace. Some people might describe it as braided because it
Yeah,
has like a 3D, it's 3D around. It's not just one thin piece.
I
But
Braided,
think
is that a
it's like
metal term or
it's
like
a because that's a Van Cleef necklace, I believe. I'd pulled up
okay?
the chain, and at one point, I'd pulled up the chain and found the charm and everything. I had the full listing on it.
I then I That's just what I'm asking because it's like for me, I don't really get big into jewelry. I'm like, if I had a braided thing, it's like a more fabricy that I'd braid. But is there any metal that's braided?
I don't think they mean like actually braided, like how you would braid hair. I think they just mean just more of a 3D type of like a cylinder, right? Like it's like a cylinder around. It
Okay,
has a roundness to it.
so it's a common thing describing metal
So
necklaces
someone says
for men.
beaded, as in beads. I don't know if it's
No,
common.
he said braided.
Yeah, I'm just
Anyway,
reading
but
I'm reading the comments.
I'm totally not like challenging. I'm just like these are like I'm so glad I get to talk to you. Like this is investigative team. Like keep that in mind. I'll explain it later.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe that is the best, actually, Matt. Now that I'm like trying to look at it and zoom in, but maybe that is the best picture. I don't know if you're able to zoom into the photo at all anymore,
Yeah, give me
but
1 second and I'll zoom in.
I've seen that one. The Band-Aid one wasn't as compelling, but this one is very compelling.
I mean, either way, and it's fine. Even if you're not, I think people get the point that, so with a squib, um, the concept, and some people don't, aren't familiar with what a squib is, and I have a there's some interesting YouTube videos that you can look at that are quite compelling, that I have kind of in my own little case file as to, like, if I were to do it, how I would do it. And I hadn't even heard of a squib. I'll tell you what, my 9-year-old son was the first one to tell me about it. But yes, when someone's asking, like, okay, could a white t-shirt be worn using that? Yes. And so a whole fake prosthetic neck can literally be put on and assembled. And when you see the prosthetic neck that you can see in some of these videos, it's bizarre because they put on essentially like a foam neck that looks so real. It's crazy. Here, we'll put
And it
this
doesn't
link.
have to be just the neck. It can be the
It
entire upper
can be the
torso.
whole chest. It can be an arm. It could be whatever.
Did you want to share the
Yes, I'll put that
okay.
up. Yep. There you go.
Uh-huh.
So that almost looks like flesh colored tape.
Which part are you looking at?
I see where. Okay,
Yep. Up there. You
in
Up
the
see,
here?
back, but also like that is a big bulge.
you see like right below the, go to the right. Yep. A little more.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Dang, that was not what I thought. I was looking at a different one before. You're right. That's pretty compelling. That does look like I see what you're saying. Like a
And it's pretty hard. Trust me, I've tried like to make my neck, do that motion and a lot. Now I know people you can say, okay, reaching, whatever, but I'm sorry if the chat's covering it, but let me see if I can pull the chat, if I can change the
I can
presentation.
let me zoom it. Well, actually, is that from mobile? I'm not sure. I can move
Okay.
it to the side. Is that better?
Y'all let us know if that's
Yes.
better.
Okay. I've got to
Okay, I think
apologize.
people are able to see it maybe now because
Yep.
they're reacting.
The one I saw,
Is it
thank you for
perfect?
bringing this up. The one I saw before, I was like, that's not real. I thought it was like way back no, that's,
Okay, they're
you
like,
pointed it
wow,
out. That's
okay.
pretty good.
Whoa, yeah, they are reacting.
Okay, now though, then if you go forward to their stories, then the freedom shirt and that whole thing and when they took it off and when they didn't, and that does come into play. So, Brian's already put a lot of, commentary out about it. Including something like very dramatic where he jumped on a gurney to cut off his shirt, and it's like that's so where is the freedom shirt?
Oh,
When did it come off?
so I want to add, I see someone saying something about that the shadow of the tape disappears, or excuse me, the shadow of the chain disappears, like whatever. Please note that these photos, right, that you're seeing right here, these are from a photographer who was not hired by TPUSA to be there, but who was there to essentially sell their photos um, to like they were there freelance. And I don't know, people actually assumed maybe that they knew more than they let on. So that people assumed that they were more on the TPUSA side. Would you guys say that? Like,
If you want to see him and what he says for himself,
yeah,
he's
there you
on
go.
the Brandy and Billy Show podcast on YouTube. He's interviewed on there twice. So
Yeah,
they ask him all the hard questions.
all the tough questions. And you can judge for yourself.
Okay, I think this is interesting because I was
Yes,
kind
they
of
do. They sell like Getty Images.
I was a little suspicious or whatever because I thought that like okay, he came out with these days later, but I think his are actually like interesting. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of like in reverse. They probably didn't want him to come out with these, maybe. Like because he did write Paramount Tactical and was like, "Hey, I've got these." But okay, so in order to solve this thing, I just want to know, like, I would say that like, the thing we could put out there is, was he face down or face up carried out? Because I've definitely gone to all of his. So then I was like, was there something that another YouTuber I won't name saw because he said it was dripping out of his neck. I'm like, well, I've looked at all of these, I've looked at all of the archives, and I don't see that. He's carried upwards, but now George Zinn is definitely carried like the way he was describing, like neck down. And the weird thing is, Chat GPT, which I can't trust anymore, because it was actually fighting me on this.
Yeah, I don't know
Which I
anything
could
about
show
that.
that. Well, ChatGPT's, like it's the whole thing of like when it gets taken over by people get
I don't
blocked,
know
people get
anything about
whatever.
that one.
Okay. Actually, this is good. Okay. So
Let's see. No, I had a very strange interaction with y'all's. Oh, hey Steve. So we were not talking about Andrew. In this case, we were talking about photos from Charles McClintock Wilson, but
how did you
I
do that?
would. What's that?
Sorry. He just
Um,
well,
but
that's
we
what
Okay.
he's
would love to know a little bit more about your interaction with Andrew. If
Okay.
there's,
So
yeah.
I
Sorry, go
apologize. He
ahead.
just did magic right there. And everyone's been wondering how do you get the whatever the text off of the photos.
Oh, so if you go to any page like this one, right? If
Uh-huh.
you hit F12, you go to developer tools. And then if you inspect, like you can right click and inspect, or you can click the inspector here and it highlights whatever you want to remove. And once you're on it, you click it. And then over here on the right side, you right click and hit delete element and it pulls it off the page.
Okay. I'm gonna have to make that into a short and watch it again like 5 times.
Okay,
But
so
that's awesome. No, that's awesome. Like that's
so Brittany, I want to actually, yeah. Let me
people have been so wondering this. I think that's great. All right.
So check this out. So
Okay.
I'm looking at this now, and I'm even I know what is happening.
Okay.
So it's not he's not he's not down or up. He's both. His legs, if you look here, his legs are up, right? But his upper body is twisted. While his legs
Okay.
are up this way, his upper body is twisted towards Brian Harple.
Okay.
Because his right arm's here and his left arm is hunched over, and they're doing that so Brian Harple can hold the gauze and stuff in his neck. So he's twisted, right? Like he's twisted around.
Okay.
So he's both. So when he's being carried down, it looks like he's on his back. That's because his legs and stuff are up, but his upper body is actually twisted almost so he's facing down. So they're both technically correct, right? So he's up and down, he's twisted. At least that's what it looks like to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've looked at this.
Well, look at George Zinn. George, okay, I know, but the way that, another podcaster or whatever you described, because I saw they carried him down, it was like face first. But also, can we go back to that real quick? Go back to that. Okay. So as Brian Harpool talked so much about being squirted in the face with,
oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
like squirted.
We can't show that. We can't show that one here.
But look, it's just the point is there's none of that. There's none.
Well, I'll send you the link, but there's definitely a lot of blood in the other picture.
Him.
This picture right here, there's blood on all of them, and there's blood dripping real time in the picture.
So why? Okay, so that is somewhere. It's just not on Charles McClintock's thing, or
I would say that it's not very much blood, though. Not in comparison to what one would expect. I've spoken to numerous surgeons. I don't know.
if you saw the blood, like
trauma
the blood
surgeons,
spatter,
cardiologists, whatever, who have said that it just doesn't add up to them, to what they see on the table.
Well, I could show you this too. He literally talks about like I got shot in the face. I could taste it in my mouth, and that's what made me jump back. But no, obviously he was not squirted in the face with.
So can you? I really want to show this stuff, but I don't want to mess with your stream.
I know. I'm like,
there's like 3 or 4 pictures in this same album that show tons of blood, and right
tons. Now that's quite a. But that's not. That's. I would just disagree with the word tons. I would say like.
Well, so there's blood on the pants of all the guys. There's blood on the arms.
That's not tons.
That's not tons to have blood spread among multiple people.
Just one.
Lose that much blood and tell me that you don't feel woozy.
Look.
What do you?
Have you played with food coloring before? Food coloring spreads pretty fast, pretty easily.
Yeah, but Charlie wasn't filled with food coloring.
I'm not saying he was, but
if it's squirting on your face, you don't. I'm just going by. I'm going by the descriptions of them describing this. Have you? I could send it to you because I did clip it. And maybe that's what I need to show you too. Is because by Brian's own description, he talked about it squirting in his face, and that he could taste it on his lips, and that he was so bloody when he went to the hospital that this woman put him in another room and washed him off, and he said that was humanity.
Because he was covered, right?
Yes.
You have your phone, right? So I'll send you the link, and you can look at them yourself.
I've done it. Okay. If it's everything on this, I've done it, and it's not a lot of blood. Okay. Sorry, I won't.
Okay, so let's move on to something besides the blood part. All right.
All right.
Yeah, someone said that he's not facing down. Yeah, that's what I was saying. His legs are up and his upper body is twisted so that his chest is going towards Brian Harple. So he is on his back, but his upper body is twisted to the side. That's why his
Okay.
arms look like
Yeah.
they're in reverse.
Okay. Well, that's important because another person had a whole thing of, it was completely facing down and he saw it. That's all I've got to say. So, but
And
you've
it is
seen it,
weird
Matt.
that as they, I mean, or us, I don't know, I won't say, maybe I shouldn't say weird. It is worth noting that they didn't have an ambulance there. They should have for an event of that size. They absolutely should have had an ambulance there. And the EMTs that were there, you see, which is very, very sketchy, walk, if you look in the background, walked right into the background behind stage, right? I believe it was as Hunter Kozak was speaking. You can see them in the background walking in backstage. And, would they have been able to do surgery right there? No, of course not. But, could they have been able to potentially do something to stabilize? I don't know, maybe. And I know that Brian Harpole did say that that there was a defibrillator used on Charlie at the hospital, and I know one of the guys appeared to have a defibrillator on him, so that could have been used on him
Well,
there
he
on
he did
scene.
not say that there was one used on him. He said he ripped off his shirt, so there could be one used on him.
Mm.
Unless I didn't see another interview.
I've heard from multiple sources, including the medical examiner and Brian Harple, that his heart was beating again at some point while he was at the hospital. Either it was still beating when they got there, or they got it to start again. Obviously, he didn't survive, um, but now these teams, these elite teams, especially like the special forces guys, and that's the
Mhm.
guys that I train with, right?
Yeah.
That's the guys that I'm friends with, and I see multiple times a week and train and shoot with, and that kind of stuff. They have all of that. They have
All of that.
defibrillators, they have chest seals, they have needles to decompress the lungs if you get shot in the lung. They have all that stuff on them and in their vehicle.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what different EMTs would have than that team to stop that bleed. I question that
So
too.
why, right? So why were the tools not used? Where were the tools?
Well, so I think about it this way, because I've done some of that training and actually have a video on my channel on Trigger Smart where I'm with a stop the bleed expert. He's like a military guy and he's been an EMT for 25 years and he covers that. He shows how to actually stop those bleeds. He mentioned to me too, in cases where you have a lot of cavitation, especially if it was a gunshot in this case, there's so much destruction that you can't even find the artery to pin it or stop the bleeding. Blood's just going everywhere. You can't find where to actually stop it. And Brian Harple, I'm not defending him. This is just what he said in the interview. He said that he couldn't get it to stop.
Right, so he couldn't get it to stop. So then there was no blood on him, but so then you've got Paramount Tactical who got some things sent to him midweek or what. I just feel like they're kind of just trying to change the narrative as the public was having criticism about, like, well, there's a lot of blood. So, and I'm sorry, I don't respect him for how he treated Kelly, so I'm just gonna say that. And um but so what he was saying is that, well, and I've made a video about this, I can send you, um, because he's saying, well, obviously this is the guy right here. This is the guy that obviously put his hand in the wound, and that's why he's the one that has BLOOD on him, right? And that in the pictures, it's so obvious. And then but then you get Brian Harpole's interview, which is no, he was the one who dug his hand in the wound. So I'm just saying that the stories don't line up, just the same as, well, this person said this and this person, so who's lying? I mean, you are the expert. I'm just trying to show you that, like, okay, look at, like, because I know nothing, right? I'm just trying to be the video editor here to show you guys of, like, here's where these two stories conflict.
So this is from official sources. According to an eyewitness account from Frank Turek, who did jump in the back of the vehicle and was with them. Charlie Kirk's pulse was briefly revived at the hospital after he was shot in the neck. He was pronounced dead after about half an hour. So some people are saying that he never got his pulse back. According to Frank Turek, officially, he did have a pulse again in the hospital.
Are we
And-
listening to Frank Turek?
Thank you. And okay, Stuffed Beagle has asked this question a couple of times, so I've got to address it, and I love that they asked this. Frank Turek claims that he gave Charlie CPR. Brian Harpel claims no CPR was given. Who is lying? On that note, interestingly enough, if you go back through the record, Frank Turek had claimed several times that he climbed in through the back of the truck, the SUV, excuse me, climbed over the back seat. Of course, at that point, now imagine this, okay? They're in this Yukon. You've got 6'4" Charlie spread out like this. You've got Brian Harpole on this side, Rick Cutler on this side. Then suddenly you've got Frank Turek crawling over on this side to somehow do CPR, or as he says, pounding on him. Okay. You've got a car door that is open. You've got Brian Harpole's butt hanging out, again, according to him. They're somehow flying down the road. Can y'all just imagine this pure blown chaos? I just cannot.
I just feel like it's not how like typical, like Matt, I feel like you're very like to the point. Like I want to show you this, Matt, because you'd be like, okay, guys, we don't talk like this. It's like, it's almost like the Amber Heard, like, you know, I was on the couch and then I was on the dirty floor. It's like they're, you know, I could imagine acting it out. It just doesn't seem like his story makes sense. And again, to the chat, I apologize because I always love interacting with the chat. So I'm sorry that I can't see you guys. But like, yes, I see what Kelly's saying. Like, it's, if we could show you. So that, I guess that's my job, is I put all the clips together.
So there's no way that, okay. So the CPR thing. So Frank claims that for several times, he claims that he did this CPR. And I cannot imagine 4 grown men in the second row of a Yukon. Okay. I just can't imagine that in and of itself. Sounds impossible to me. But then come the memorial, Frank's story changes, and he says, well, and then there was nothing I could do, which the memorial is not an appropriate time anyway to be talking about what happened in the car anyway. Hello. But that is the telltale sign of lies and of liars. I'm sorry, but that's just the facts. Okay.
All right. So for everyone in the chat, if you think Frank Turek is full of shit, put a 1. If you think that Frank Turek can be trusted because he was close to Charlie, put a 2. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
And I'll continue to tell the tale while y'all are loading in.
I smell a lot of poo. A lot of poo in the chat.
Woo, woo, woo. It's getting stinky. Yeah. So then from there, then his story goes back to then he wasn't in big public anymore on national television. Then he goes back to saying that he was, you know, pounding on the chest again and doing CPR. And then he stopped saying that altogether. And then Brian Harpole said somehow that he was doing CPR. It was just, they can't get their story straight because they all want to be the hero, but not the hero. And it's a hot mess express.
But there are some important inconsistencies that I'm trying to like map out, because Brian Harpole did say, like, if you're the head of security, sir, like, okay, Matt, would you, if you want to get hired again with a tactical team, like you're head of security, okay, and then everything went bad that day, like your number one job, your client died, okay, or So then when you're telling the story, would you tell all these embarrassing stories of how like your cell phone fell out of your pants and then you couldn't call your grandma? Would you add that to the story?
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, he did. And I thought that, so I'm just starting to see that why are they adding irrelevant details already? So I think we'll see that coming out because then I like, why is he saying that story? Well, then I found a clip where he's completely clean as day and he's holding his cell phone. So, and this is when they're still like packing up, like, because he said it happened right after he jumped on Charlie. He has this very descript thing of he jumped on Charlie and he jumped and then he stuck his hands into the wound and he opened up the wound. And so I'm like, whoa, okay, but I mean, I think I'm just looking from that point of view. So, um, why would you, it's like, okay, so are you like the security guard for like my grandpa's like retirement home or like what, why would he admit to that?
We are not talking about rent-a-cops here. These are people who get paid, that firm probably gets paid a
Millions.
million plus dollars. Yeah,
Mhm.
millions.
So when he tells these unimportant side stories, I'm like, why are you even telling this? And it's got to be for a reason of like, so when he said like, he told a completely unimportant side story on the Brian Hartpole show about, and I didn't articulate this to the doctors at the time, but I jumped on him. I jumped on him on a gurney and I cut off his shirt and and I didn't articulate it to him, but I wanted to them I did it because I wanted them to be able to defibrillate him. And so once the shirt's cut off or whatever. But I've also have clips where I think if whatever happened, if it was whatever, the shirt was kind of ripped off as they're loading him into the SUV. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Now
don't
that's
think that the
for you guys to interpret. I just wanted to pass this on to you, Matt.
Yeah, I don't think that they ripped the shirt off on the scene, but I mean, if he ripped the shirt off at the
Was his shirt ripped
hospital,
off and he
again,
had to come up with a
that was
cover
it was
story?
just completely inappropriate, I sure hope that the police have the shirt, like, that's evidence, just like the necklaces. All of
Exactly.
that
And the mic.
should be included. It should still be sitting in, the evidence locker and the evidence envelope under lock and key with everything, including the banners, the whole setup, all of that stuff. I sure hope is somewhere untouched. I fear that it is not, but
I just
mm,
my 2 cents about some of this is there's a lot of conversations that are circular and they keep happening a lot in this investigation. And I feel like they're not helping the cause because they're wasting a lot of time. So people talk about the blood. I talk to Allie about the blood all the time. She says there's no blood. The Charles McClintock pictures, including Project Constitution, I'm looking at one on X right now. He's referencing one of them. There's blood all over the dude. And there's other pictures on that same exact album where the security guy standing there, Charlie's gone. And the security guy standing there with blood on him, on his hand, his arm, his shirt. There's blood. So people keep saying there's not blood. There's blood.
Okay.
There's blood on multiple guys. There's blood
No.
dripping from
Okay,
Charlie's neck in the picture.
I
So the
gotcha.
blood conversation is done. There's
No, it's
blood.
actually not. Wait, because I do have a clip of
It doesn't
should I
matter.
say
There's blood
stupid?
on him being
No.
carried out. There's blood.
Well, okay, so he's being carried out, and then on this
And
one,
blood squirts out of his neck in the video. There's blood.
yeah, but we don't know if that's
okay,
real
but is his
human
hand
blood or
burnt?
not, but
Because if you look at
the burning has nothing to do with the blood.
his hand doesn't look burnt in Charles McClintock. Like if we look right now, his hand doesn't look burnt and crispy at all.
The picture that everyone's referencing to say his hands are burnt is zoomed in low resolution. So like right now, if I showed you one of those pictures on there, the security guard and Charlie's hands look identical. So if you say that
Okay.
Charlie's hand is burnt, you have to say that a security guard's hand is burnt as well.
Okay. Now, okay, one more question. So like if they like lock down the scene, like okay, so like let's say that like you it's like the biggest, assassination, biggest whatever crime scene. So would and then you got to taper it off and then collect everything you can. So would people be able to go like 5 days later and find the same exact um fingerprints and like dust marks on the building? Or would the FBI, if they were really like investigating this, would they not dust that, take every piece of evidence and clean that off, just like they
Let's
cleaned
check.
up the crime scene?
Let's check. Let's see. How long do fingerprints last?
In the
Outdoors.
meantime, I promise you guys, I will post a video to what I think like some of the options for squibs and blood and some of the fake stuff. I will post that in the description of this video. Okay. I just don't want to play it right now and risk this video
Right.
getting taken off
It's
because we're having such a productive conversation. It would just be such a shame to have this whole
Right, right,
thing
right.
get yanked.
But also they're correcting the narrative storytelling over time. So I I, I can show you where they uh Paramount was like, I didn't see anything, and then I found this, and he got sent it on like on a Wednesday, and so that's when it came out, and so I believe Charles, but still, like, then he said, okay, because of this, I see blood on this one guy. So obviously he had to be the guy that was packing the wound. Okay, then he wasn't the guy packing the wound. Brian Harpole says he was. So I don't think Charles is a lot, whatever. I just think that it's a social media game where they're trying to correct their steps over time, ongoing, and collectively, like, we don't need to fall for it.
Yeah, so as far as the fingerprints go, it says they can last from minutes to decades outdoors.
Why would you not clean that off though?
I mean, if they clean it off, yes, but they can
No,
last
but why would
years.
you? Sure, it can, but like, okay, but I'm saying, like, would you leave blood spatter on a scene? Like, why would you not clean that off? Just like, because why did they, if they didn't do anything to touch the fingerprints on that side, then why did they totally revamp and do construction work on the actual crime scene like 2 days later? Like,
I
wouldn't
think
they
it
have
was
done
5
that to
days
the
later, but
okay, 5 days? Okay, why wouldn't they
Oh
have
no,
done
I
that
think
to the outside
it was
building?
less than that. Yeah, it was so this happened on Wednesday and I think they started on Saturday. Definitely by Sunday. So
let's see. Renovations. Where is it?
I mean, I'm all down for the renovations, but then why would they not
yep,
renovate?
3 days.
Why would they not renovate like the roof?
3 days. Okay.
Yep. Which there's some interesting things about, I mean, one of the construction companies, like one of the guys, he had just started the construction company that year. He was a UVU grad. It's not even his main gig. He's a realtor. Like he had no business doing that project. That was clearly something that was off the cuff, to say the least.
So this is a good question. And I'll ask you this, Kelly, because you've done a lot of investigating with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading a forum and they said, okay, so typically when a crime happens, the feds and stuff are there the first day and they're cataloging everything. They're looking for, bullet casings and that kind of thing. And typically they have it all cataloged pretty quick, right? So say he got shot during the daytime. They did everything they needed to do that day, maybe the next day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the third day, they're paving over stuff. Maybe they were done. Maybe they looked at everything, got all the fingerprints they needed, got all the evidence they needed, and it's like, all right, you guys can do what you need to do, clean it up.
Why would they have them pave? Why does it need paved over if there
Yeah.
wasn't that much? Like, why?
But it wouldn't matter if they got everything they needed. If the FBI, they were there, right? The FBI,
Okay.
CIA, police were
Yeah.
ground.
So but why
3
would they need to
days.
pave over?
It doesn't matter. That's up to UVU. After the evidence is gathered, it doesn't matter what they do with it after that. They can do anything they want.
Okay, so what about the roof?
Same thing. It's their
Yeah.
property.
It just still was very abnormal. very out of the norm for a crime scene to be revamped like that, especially, I mean, especially something that you're going to call an assassination. Sorry, just it's not normal.
I think the weirdest thing is who did it, and then also the fact that it was done on a Sunday when
On
Mormons
a
don't work on
Sunday,
Sundays.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and we're talking about having, people who are
Wait,
LDS
wait, Mormons?
who are,
Well, Israel. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say it, but Shabbat Shalom. Apparently, the Sabbath is on
yeah.
a Saturday to them. So Sunday is a working day.
Yeah, it was absolutely beyond normal. And then when you
Yep.
bring in the religious aspect to it, and even the guy who owned the company, did this video saying, you know, I don't normally work on this day, but for my brothers, I needed to do this. And so I did it. And yeah,
Yeah, Shabbat Shalom is primarily used by Jewish people. The Mormons don't typically work on Sundays.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest things about EK's book coming out is it's all about stop but I think it's big is their Sabbath Saturday or Sunday. I'm not very religious, so I don't really care, but like that's apparently a big deal I'm learning.
I saw a video actually that was from the Charlie archives earlier today, and it was quite interesting. It was Charlie talking about why he celebrates. So, it was from the archives. Didn't appear to be AI yet.
You're right.
Yet. But that it was him talking about why he just enjoys, and celebrating the Sabbath with his, someone that, with his people that he loves and
So he thinks it
having a
right. I think that's
traditional dinner and all the things. So,
why, but it's like I just feel like yes, okay, then take that day as a. I don't know why that needs to be an entire book. To be honest, it's like
well,
I
yeah.
literally can't. But also then he has said that but has he said it's Saturday or Sunday? And I have never known that to be a big deal until recently. And I can't see the chat. I'm so sorry. Normally I
Sorry,
love reading the chat and responding to them.
I'm
If they're just
laughing.
like chewing
I'm
me out, I'm
laughing.
so
No,
sorry.
I'm laughing because somebody in the chat was like, "Daddy's home, drop the phone, Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom."
Shalom.
And that was one of the things that Erica had said in one of the interviews, and I had seen what
Somebody
somebody
did
on
a rap about
TikTok
it. Like,
TikTok was like, "What are you, Erica? You a rapper now? Like, are you dropping
yes.
beats?"
So Persephone in chat says we start the Sabbath at sundown on Friday until
Yes,
sundown on Saturday.
that's right.
All right.
Let's see. What else I have?
But Christianity, the Sabbath is Sunday but I don't want to take religion and fight with anyone. So I don't want to. I'm just surprised that this is like going
It just,
on.
I don't know. It just seems like we all of a sudden just come to all of these conflicts about all of these things, and it's just gotten
Yeah,
out
I
of
didn't know. It's like one of
control.
those things. I didn't know we were fighting about this. Like, you know what I mean? I guess that's. I didn't know any of us had a beef. It's like almost like they're telling us to
Oh, this
feel
is
this way.
good. Okay, Fiery Patriot. This is a good point. She says that he put his phone in the drawer on Saturdays, but he tweeted 120 times on Saturdays the last 3 years. He was breaking the rules. I wonder if Erica was out of town.
Well, no, I think that's the argument. I think it's just so silly that it's between Saturday or Sunday. But I think he thinks the Sabbath is Sunday, where if you're Shabbat Shalom, it's Saturday,
Well, and a
right?
lot of people, this is a whole different topic, but a lot of
I
people
know, I should shut up.
question how Christian he is because he was getting mixed in Judaism and he was also doing Catholic things like the rosary. So he seemed like a very confused person.
Yeah.
I'm out on religious talk. Like all I know is that like I didn't know that we had any battle between each other. So I'm gonna dip out on that one. So Kelly, good night.
All
Okay,
right.
Matt.
Good night, friend. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining us.
Good night, Brittany.
Yes. Thank you. And Matt, I will send you some more things. 'Cause I was not trying to challenge you. I'm like, but you are who
No,
we
you should.
need.
You
No,
should.
but like,
Everyone should question everything.
I
That's
was actually
right.
like, you are the one we need to get information to. That's kind of why I'm like, you've got the brains. Okay. So I'll forward you some things. Okay. Good night, guys.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Are we having fun in here or what?
Getting wild.
Right?
So I'm looking on X. What do I have to do to see the chat on X?
I think it's still. Are you able to see? I'm sorry if you can't. On my end, I see like.
You see it mixed together?
It is all mixed together. Yep. I see. Yep. YouTube and X and.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I know there have been some really good questions that have come in. It's just sometimes there's so many things that come in all at once and then I can't keep up, so I apologize. So y'all feel free to send again. Charlie found out the hard way that you can't criticize the chosen. And yeah, I think that is one of the things to consider, that when you become perhaps bigger than the machine, then the machine may want to take you out.
And it's been that way historically with humanity. It's not specifically just that nation state.
Mhm.
If it wasn't them, it'd be someone else. I also heard that Ukraine had issues with Ukraine because they wanted to pull funding.
Yes. Which, yeah. And then there's also kind of questions about some people within TPUSA who have strong ties to Ukraine as well, which is interesting. Also, Matt, I don't know if you caught this during the interview town hall propaganda session this evening, but so there was the talk about the Egyptian planes, which Erika she wanted to dive into, but then it was like she couldn't really express what she was trying to say. But then, surprise, surprise. But then she said, "But I was pregnant during that time, and I was never on an Egyptian plane." And so, of course, I have to think, well, who said you were on an Egyptian plane, Erika?
Yeah, that wasn't the accusation.
Right.
The
Okay.
accusation is that you're being followed and tracked by Egyptian planes.
Yeah. So, that's an interesting tell. And then she says, but I mean, if you want to look at my flight logs, you can look at my flight logs.
It has nothing to do with her flight logs. See that she's deflecting, right? She's trying to take it somewhere else. It's interesting. It's smart. I mean, that's a smart technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, like, I feel she didn't answer the questions. Yeah, that's kind of what politicians do. And technically, she kind of is a politician, right? That's kind of what TPUSA does.
Yep.
Answer the questions. Yeah. Okay. So I'm interested with all the people here. So let's do one more poll. So everyone in chat, this is the poll, right? Let's not get crazy. So if you believe Candace and you're a big fan of Candace and what she's doing, put a 1. If you think that Candace is crazy and she's just causing problems, put a 2. So 1 if you're for Candace, 2 if you're not. Let's do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Candace fans. Someone said 0.5.
Does that mean that they're a semi-Candace fan?
I think.
Or does that mean they're a super fan?
I think it's super fan. Yeah, if you use the integer scale. I think she's also tiny, crazy. She's definitely causing problems for TPUSA. Yeah, she's challenging them, and she has Tucker backing her.
Oh, did you know though that Tucker's what is it? Is it a fake tobacco company that he has? Anyway, donated $1 million+ bucks to Erika.
I did not.
Yeah.
But a lot of political figures did that. So I know what's the guy that yells all the time with the scruffy beard? He's like kind of chunky. I can't think of his name, but he's a really popular commentator. But he raised money too and got almost like $1 million some dollars for her.
Oh, goodness. I mean, it's like sorry, it's just hard for me to understand that when I mean, I saw people this summer. I'm in Texas. I saw people this summer lose their entire livelihoods in the floods of July 4th. And I don't know. It makes me really sad and really sick. So,
Yes, that's correct. I believe I was thinking of Alex Jones. Yeah, and she's always decked out. She always has the bling everywhere she goes. Someone said she was wearing a wig, but I couldn't get behind that. I didn't see it.
well, she claims that that's her real hair, but I mean, I fully believe that it's
Extensions or something, maybe?
extensions, and
Yeah.
there's no shame in your game, girl. Like, why? But that's one more lie. It's fine.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like her, but they would date her, right?
Yeah. Yep.
They think she looks good. I mean, she was a beauty queen, so
Yeah, I think she's you know,
you can say it.
she's lovely, lovely to look at. But
She's
I
hot.
think she's evil on the inside. Sorry, said it. Sorry, not sorry. I wouldn't want to be in the same room with her. I would not want her. I would not want her to look me in the eyes. I would not want her to give me a hug.
You
I
can,
would worry about her touch. That I think that her like when she does that hug and like grabs you by the back of your head. Whew,
you could give her your eyes back.
Ah.
Have a stare down.
Oh yeah, we've got folks in here now who weren't in here when we started.
Okay, so for context, everyone, she was doing the Erika Kirk eyes earlier, and she's going to perform it here again for us one more time for the people that didn't get to see it.
Up, though.
I don't know what he said. What line should I say?
Okay. Just something about like the conspiracy theorists.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So the conspiracy theorists are causing problems for you. What do you think about that, Erika?
Well, I think they need to stop.
Intense.
That's all I got. It's my one trick. Stop.
People's like a pinhead. Yeah. I've seen some videos where people say it was like a snake. Like she had like snake eyes that like, yeah.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Someone says we were offended. You think we would find her attractive? Yeah, I mean, she's not everybody's, everyone's type, but in general, being a slender, fit-looking blonde woman, she's attractive to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's the inside that I just can't get over,
Oh, so Hot Lift says Kelly is way prettier than her. Period.
Thank you. I think that we see through the insides. Yeah, we see through to the inside. So that's the unfortunate part. And I just can't help but think of, man, how much of that did Charlie see? And it makes me sad, and sad for if the kids, I saw somebody ask about the kids. And so I do have to wonder, okay, now we're going to get back on the conspiracy train. I know Matt doesn't get on the conspiracy train, but I ride the conspiracy train. I might be the conductor. And so, yeah, I'm not so sure that those kids are real. And why? Because we've never seen a single pregnancy picture. And I know, Matt, you have done some digging on that. And we can talk about that a little further, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. That girl, I've known plenty of pageant girls. I have plenty of friends who've been Miss Texas, even a Miss Universe, and I can tell you that look, they're gonna get all the baby photos, the pregnancy pics, the baby shower stuff, the this, that, and the other. Sure, you may want to hide your kids' faces. I respect that, but this is a whole different thing.
True World says she won a beauty pageant where all the other girls were solid 5s. Big fucking deal. That's funny. Do you have merch? Do you have Kelly Ray Vaughan
No, I
merch?
need to though. Actually, I've thought about it. Is somebody interested?
You should do something with the eyes. Have like that on a t-shirt or something.
Oh, yes. Be like,
Have you seen that FBI's music video?
oh no, but
I won't play it on here because I don't know if YouTube will ding you for like copyright
okay.
stuff. But if you look on YouTube, it's called FBI's, like EYES,
Okay.
and it's Cash Patel.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Oh, do I have a like to know it or storefront? Yes, I do have it. I do have a like to know it. And it's Kelly R, KELIR. If anybody shops on uses like to know it. Here, let's see if I can drop that in the comments.
Yeah, some people are saying I heard the same thing that in the town hall she said she hid when she was pregnant. So she kind of tried to keep it private. And some have said that maybe it's not Charlie's kids. Like maybe she did have kids, but they're not his.
Yeah. I'm just not buying it.
What? Alex, someone says get the vax. Is that a bot?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see it.
So people are saying the kids were probably adopted. They could have been orphans from her previous business.
From her, yeah. There's a whole lot of strange stuff going on. Speaking of Romania, I don't know much about the whole Andrew Tate situation, but I did see that he just got released and that he was in Romania. And that, he was or that he was whatever accused of running a trafficking operation. And
I know he did the
so I'm like,
webcams.
yeah. So anyway, I'm like, what in the world is going on over there? And
They
the
said he
article
owns. They said
Go
he
ahead.
owns several properties there. They have luxurious villas in Bucharest, and they own several properties. But it does say human trafficking. Yeah.
I see someone had asked about why haven't we heard from Charlie's parents, and I think that is a wonderful idea or question. I think that is definitely something that if Candace knows, she's said before that she had some sort of a relationship, knew of, talked to his parents before. Now, maybe she had some kind of agreement, whatever, with them. Now I'm stretching, but I feel like she should at least be in a position to say that she spoke to them. But I mean, come on, like she needs to be reaching out to them. Because frankly, I'm at the stage where I'm just going to start doing it. Somebody's got to talk to somebody. I'm just sick of it at this point. Like,
Have you tried to, just out of curiosity, have you tried to get an interview with Tyler Robinson?
no, but I'm ready to start.
I
I'm
think it's.
tired of waiting around for other people to do stuff.
I wanted to make sure he was real first. Now that I've seen him in court, I know that he's real, so now I might
Mhm.
pursue it.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? You got nothing to lose. I mean, I know Lance is real too, or I believe that he is. Because I'd looked and found that he had a speeding ticket. Excuse me, not a speeding ticket. He didn't have insurance, I believe it was. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Let's see. Baffle, overdo it. Matt, do you think Brian was in that meeting on the base like Candace alleged? So, I don't know how you feel about these people, but Valhalla VFT and Paramount Tactical and Black Scout Survival, all very experienced military guys on YouTube, all agreed that it was a BS story. The meeting and the airplanes and stuff that like Barron saw an airplane that went there. Valhalla said last night in his stream that was 6 hours long. Holy crap. During that stream, he said that another creator is going to release some information, but he knows for a fact that Brian Harpole was not there. They have proof that Brian Harpole wasn't there, and he wasn't going to give more details because he didn't want to take that other person's information. So as of right now, based on the rumors, he was not there.
so that Candace's information was bogus.
So the guy Harry, I think was his name. Some of it was bogus. So they said the locations he mentioned. So the place in Arizona, the name of the base, the Mountain Rangers, the Southern Command, all the different pieces he mentioned, those were correct. But some of the stuff he said didn't add up. Like he said he walked into the meeting. These military guys, like there's no fucking way in hell you would walk into a military establishment and be able to freely walk around. There's guys up front who stop you immediately and say, "Who are you? Why are you here? Show us your ID," right? So a lot of the pieces of his story fall apart instantly, but some of the details were there. So he had enough details and knew the locations that they're like, okay, so he knows something about it.
Right.
But there are too many pieces that fell apart where like, no, this is BS. And then now they're saying for a fact, they can verify with 100% certainty that Brian Harpole was not there because they found him somewhere else.
I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, I guess. There's just so much opposition and misinformation and running this, that, and the other at this point that I don't know. We'll see. But some of these stories do sound far-fetched. So
Well,
I
and
just,
how
I don't
many
know.
of them have come to a head? We've
Yeah.
heard a new story with every podcast and almost nothing has come to fruition.
That's right. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna stay in my lane and keep plugging along on the things that I'm digging into, which primarily are the things that I feel like I could see that day. And then the things that I started extrapolating out from there. I didn't need Candace to, do my, yeah. It was interesting, entertainment and stuff, but like, yeah. Uh, and it's nice to feel like you have affirmation maybe when you hear something that you've been looking into, then kind of make the show. But
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts? What do you think?
I don't. I think Candace is a great storyteller. I think that. So to give her credit where credit's due, she's great at giving the information. Whatever information she gets, she's great at putting the story out there, getting people interested, getting people researching and looking into it. Whether that information is credible from the source is the big question,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and I think a lot of times when she says, "I've been looking into it and I found," she has a team of people that do that stuff, and she has people that send stuff to her. So I don't know how credible that is either. Is she actually the one doing the research, or is she
Right.
just kind of picking through what other people have done and she presents what's interesting? I don't know.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, did you have any other? I know this episode that you're doing was primarily about today's interview, and we've definitely gotten away from that. Is there anything else you want to talk about for that interview?
Say that again?
Did you want to talk more about that interview from today with Erika Kirk?
I think that's we've pretty much covered the high points unless there's something that I haven't that anyone else picked up on that I didn't note. There wasn't anything. She did kind of have like a flub talking to someone over like a over a Jewish comment, but I can't remember now at this point exactly what it was. It was like it was talking to a father, I think, and it was awkward.
Oh, it looks like we lost her. I'm sure she'll probably jump back in here in a second. Let's see. At FitRad 3R687, Matt, are you jabbed? I am not. I did not do that. Let's see.
Sorry. I'm
Oh,
back. I don't know what happened.
a happy hoarder. You said if the FBI said that Charlie had died by electrocution, would you believe it? If they show evidence, yes. If they can show proof that he was like if they release an autopsy and it shows obvious signs like the tracks going through his arteries and veins and things that you see, if he has like skin bursting open and there's burns around it and stuff like that, I'd believe it if there's evidence. Yeah, people keep bringing up that I think it was Coach Colin that covered it. He was talking about the child and the man in the pep rally with Erika Kirk before she met Charlie or before she was married to Charlie. Did you ever see that video?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got that and I had been wanting to put that up as well. I just sit on things for too long. So I don't know exactly who that is, but I do have some pictures of her with a boyfriend from way back, and I need to take a look and see if that is the boyfriend, but I don't know who the kid is. Her mom is there too.
And so is Tyler Boyer.
Yeah, yeah. So Tyler is the one who invited her there. Well, she reached out to Tyler as the story goes. Tyler actually talks about it. I've got an audio clip of him talking about it.
And Tyler was also with Netanyahu's son
That
with
was
her
news. Yes, that was
as
news
well.
to me. So I didn't have the full story on that one. That one I was surprised about. And then Tyler was the one who officially set Erica up with Charlie. Well, you know what? They've had 4, maybe 5 different stories. That's the thing, man. These people, they when they lie, they lose track of their stories. There's too many stories circulating out about how they've met even now at this point. There's a story that they've met with their little date in New York City where he grills her, that was supposed to be a job interview, but then it wasn't. There's a story that they met in a gym. There's a story that they met in line or something in Israel.
That
Um,
Trump introduced him.
yeah, that one there, and then there's another one I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. Come on now. Oh, and then there's another one of them saying that they met at TPUSA, um, at the office, like them out of their mouths, them saying these different stories on camera. So it's like, ooh,
The last that I heard, he was interviewing her for a position at TPUSA, and in the interview, he officially said he was interested in her, and that's how it started. That's what I've heard.
well, yeah, yeah. I guess most of the stories are her telling it. I think that I have, but definitely many different versions. And then, yes, that she didn't even remember their anniversary, how long they'd been married. Like, so awkward. So awkward. It's like, how can you not think that it's not how can you not think that she was not injected into his life on purpose, but she doesn't make a great case for herself that she wasn't.
So here's a question for you. You have that background in investigative journalism.
Mhm.
People, there's been tons of questions about the gag order. So you have Brian Harpole doing an interview. You have Colbert and all of them. You have the whole
Mhm.
TPUSA clan. You have Blake Neff, Erika Kirk now. There's several people speaking out about things and talking about details. And then you have obviously the whistleblowers. But this judge said that it was kind of like the whole universe gag order, right? So they're saying, why can these people speak out? I thought the gag order, the gag order should have stopped Brian Harpole from doing an interview for sure.
Yep.
What are your thoughts
The
on that?
the gag order, so I laughed about the gag order early on because it was overly broad, and it was put in place in September. And then I think it was mid to late October when a lot of people started freaking out about it in the content world. But really, nothing had changed about it, and no one was abiding by it. And there really wasn't a reason for anyone to abide by it because the gag order was written for the lawyers. And it was directed at the lawyers to then pass along to their pertinent witnesses and staff, especially, basically saying, "Hey, you and your staff need to zip your lips. You are not allowed to talk about this case. Don't mess it up. And if there's anyone who you know will be a relevant witness in this case, then it's on you to tell them they need to be quiet too."
So Steve Cameron Productions is saying hit the like. Yeah, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe to Kelly. You can see she's busting her butt, spending all this time here at, I don't know what time it is there, but like midnight.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any interest over at Trigger Smart, I'm on Trigger Smart on X and also on YouTube.
Thank you. Yes, please. Absolutely. I really, really, really appreciate you guys. Like, this is amazing. What better way to spend a Saturday night than talking about the case? I mean, I feel like I'm gonna be working on it anyway. So I'd much rather be able to share my knowledge and to work kind of through it with you guys. Oh, let's do a poll. Are the kids real or not?
That's a good one.
Yes.
You want to do that one?
Okay, let's go, you guys. All right. Are the kids real or not? If you believe they are real, give us a 1. If you believe they are fake, go 2.
About 50-50, huh?
Oh, I see a lot of 2s coming in hot.
I see a 3. That means it's not Charlie's kids. For PR, yeah.
Orphans.
I mean,
I doubt they're hers.
people gave me a lot of crap
Please.
when I did a video on this stuff, but from what I see, the kids do not look natural with Charlie. And clearly they don't show the kids' faces, but it just looks really forced to me. Charlie's parents filed for custody.
That was not true. That wasn't, I mean, unless you have evidence that it was true. I did try one day to kind of chase that down just a little bit, but I couldn't find it. So please let me know if you have something solid on that. I did look into it a little bit. I even opened an account with the courts in Illinois. I'm telling y'all, I am dedicated to this mess. And let's see here.
I don't know how how does X work for how many people are viewing?
I don't know.
Because I keep seeing crazy numbers.
I mean, what I'm seeing here is like 29,000.
Yeah, I'm seeing 28,000.
I hope that's right.
If that's true, then the chat is not proportionate.
Then the chat needs to start weighing in.
Now I know it's getting late, you guys, but as long as we're on here, let's keep it high energy for Kelly.
That's right, because I mean, we're going max.
Always. So someone says they see 121. Is that YouTube or is that X? Oh, that's YouTube. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm seeing 28,000.
Oh my gosh. That's insane. But then I see someone on X saying at 28K. Okay, who's investigating financials? Just seeing like one channel. So, okay, you guys, it's so crazy. I pulled all of the
The 990 forums?
I pulled all the 990s like the day after everything happened. if you guys could see my Apple Watch, I literally have slept a max of like 3 hours a night every night, like
That's not good.
I know. It's bad for the last 3 months. So, yeah, I pulled them all early on. And then also I had pulled Erica's for hers too very early on, because I was worried that somehow, some way they were going to try to make even those things disappear.
Yeah.
I'm just being a former, and a lot of y'all, well, most of y'all now don't know me. So I used to be an investigative journalist in TV for 12 years. And so I worked all over the country. And so I have a lot of experience with all kinds of stuff in sort of a different realm. And somebody said, get rid of the watch. So anyway, so I kind of had a good idea of what to like anticipate to an extent. It's just that this is it's hard when you're not able to like be there physically and go and talk to a lot of people in person. Anyway, I could tell that there was a lot of funny money going on right away, but with 990s, it only tells you a small percentage of the story. Now, even with what the small percentage that you are able to see, there is a very telling situation there. And so, yeah, I think that wolves in finances, yeah, I
Wolves
think
in
that's the
finance,
one.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He's done a great job, really breaking open and, explaining things in like a digestible way. So hats off to him. Have you interviewed him, or you've covered some of his work, right, Matt?
Yes, I've covered his work, and I also I've talked to him. I've messaged him a little bit. So he doesn't really do interviews and stuff like that. He's more, he's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
But and now I want to preface this: I'm not like a Tim Pool fan, right? I just pull information from everywhere. Tim Pool, after he debunked him, I don't know if you saw that or not, but Tim Pool did a video where he basically debunked every part of Wolves in Finance last video, where he's saying like, I'm in a parking lot. They're sending one.
Yeah, he messed up on that one. He messed
like,
up that part at least.
Yeah. So he basically lost credibility because of that piece there, like a lot of credibility, to be honest.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I'm kind of like, and he even says in the original video that there's nothing illegal happening that he can find.
And I agree with that. The idea that like Well, I haven't dissected it enough to know if there's actually not anything that's illegal there. That takes an official audit to know. Usually if there's full-blown illegal activity, it's very difficult to find from just a 990 if something is illegal because it's a pretty superficial document. It's kind of just like a lead, you know? Um, but yeah, I was disappointed to see. I knew when he had first posted the parking lot thing, I was like, "Oh, I'm not so sure about that." And yeah,
Yeah, I
they
think
didn't.
a lot of people in chat agree the Tim Pool not the greatest. Hey, him and Candace and Nick and all that stuff going on. Obviously, it's designed to divide. So,
But
and
there's a whole lot. I will say though, I do yet another one of my videos. So y'all I hope y'all are subscribing to my channel because trust me, I am going to like pick apart. So there's so much stuff I am going to pick apart though, because now that y'all are, I know that y'all are interested in the finances though, because some people it kind of like just makes them glaze over and they're not interested.
yeah,
Uh there is a really juicy piece of the finances that I keyed in on that nobody has talked about, that if you guys are interested in that, oh, I want to dive into
let's do
because
it.
it's going to be a good one. I don't want to get into it right now because I don't have all the printouts in front of me, but I have like I've got the goods. I'm telling you, I've got the goods. So
You
just
got
like
the receipts?
yes, literally didn't look at you. Look at you even at midnight coming up
Boom.
with the one-liners. Look at you, Matt.
So we have let's see, at 4set20 says a watch is better than a bald head. LOL. Well, I save money on shampoo and conditioner, so suck on that. Let's see. Tim Pool's
Um,
a joke. Poor Tim Pool, bless his heart. Who cares about Timmy? Tim Cesspool. Wow. Okay.
okay, I see someone saw Candace say, forgot name of the CEO of TPUSA Action was pardoned by Trump. Know anything about that dude? Yes, that's Tyler Boyer. Okay. And yes, that he ties into finances and would be kind of tying into some of these other discussions.
Wasn't he demoted or
Well,
moved? He was moved to
moved,
TPA Action.
moved. Yes. Yes. And
So he was the chief financial officer.
yes. Yes. And he like signed off on, I guess that yeah, on the 990 and
So for those who don't know, there was supposedly some investigations. The Trump administration has officially come out, and the IRS has said they are not investigating TPUSA for anything. But Tyler Boyer was basically demoted by Charlie and moved from TPUSA to TPUSA Action out of his position, and then shortly after that said he was going to do this Doge style audit. So that would tell me that he found something, and he was behind the scenes trying to figure out what was going on.
yeah. Well, I'd be spending a lot of money on all those fireworks. Costs a lot of money to put on a WWE production. Mm.
He says, I hope you're using the money you save on sunblock or skincare. I have beautiful skin. I get told all the time. Let's see. TPUSA. I'm just looking for questions. So you can see questions on your side better than I can.
Oh, that I need some sleep. I stumbled here, nice fall. Oh, good. Yay. I love to see that people just like randomly stumbled in here. That's awesome. Yes, Tim Pool went wild. His crash out was next level, like insanity.
Yeah. There's been a lot of those, I guess, technically right wing podcasters and stuff have a lot of them have been crashing out. It's been very interesting. Yeah. So, okay. Now you said that, what's it called? America Fest.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's coming up this week.
Yeah. So America Fest is coming up. Speaking of Tim Pool, he was not invited back this year, as were a lot of other people weren't invited back, to be honest. It's kind of strange. So previously, I'm just talking about Tim Pool because I know this information because someone told me about it, but he was not invited back. He's gone the last 4 years, and Charlie would reach out directly to him and ask him to come there. But now it seems like this year, for the first time for America Fest, they're not inviting conflicting voices. They're only inviting people that agree with them. And that's not what Charlie would want.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Okay, we need to do another poll.
Okay.
Do you think that Tim Pool's place actually got shot? Now, I believe it was his studio, but do you think that the story of the shooting with Tim Pool, do you think it's real? If you think it's real, put a Y. If you think it's fake, put an N. On 3. 1, 2, 3. No's, lots of N's, all capital N's. Mostly N's, a couple of yeses. Okay. Now, I know one person came out and said that they called the police station, and the police station said there was no reports of a shot. And then someone else called a different station, and they said there was. So I'm not sure on that one. But someone else also pointed out roughly every 2 years, he has a similar report. So roughly every 2 years in his history, has passed on his tweets and stuff, there's some kind of shooting that comes up.
Really?
Yep. Maybe it's when his numbers get lower.
Maybe
some controversy.
It's like it's time to give a little boost of controversy. Give his numbers a shot.
He said his numbers. He said he was good financially and everything, and then shortly after that came out and said he's gonna have to decide if they can even continue doing what they're doing.
Well, didn't he say something like, how am I gonna sell my house, or like how am I gonna afford to sell my, or something like that? I don't know. It sounded so weird.
I thought he said someone was beating up his tenants in his house or something similar. Yeah, someone says you should invite Charlie's parents on the show.
Would I smell Tim's beanie for charity? Stop. Oh, that was a good laugh.
You caught me off guard. I was looking down and I looked up and saw your eyes. Yeah, so he's losing his house. He has to move due to the threat. Yeah.
Have you guys seen the video of Tim's hat, Tim's beanie getting pulled off of his head?
No.
Oh.
Do you want to show it?
Yeah. Here, can I? Okay, let me pull that real quick. Okay, you keep an eye on the chat while I pull this video. And this will be fun. It'll be worth it. I think. So how does that work? If I pull the video, do I have to like cut it, or does it? If it's a YouTube video?
No, it doesn't cut it.
Okay.
Because you're doing commentary on it, right? So it treats it as you're just doing like a news report on it, basically.
Okay, but I don't have to cut it though. I can just.
You should be able to just share it on the screen and then just present it on the stage.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Do you want to throw mine on there really quick while you're doing that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is Tim Pool, and he's going to expose he's going to take his hat off. I've never seen this, so I'm interested. Let's see what it looks like.
Not?
Nope.
And can you tell me why? Nope,
You can't tell me why.
I can't.
And then after this, Matan eventually gets him to take it off, which was really surprising.
Boom.
Matan definitely didn't think Tim would do it. He kept saying,
Look at that. Kelly, you're missing.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, wait.
That's Tim Pool without his beanie.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't he like 20 something or 30? He's young. How old is he?
Yikes.
39. Okay. Interesting. I was not expecting that. That caught me off guard.
Okay, let me see if I can pull this up real quick.
Here's the Friar Tuck going on.
The reason why I wanted to show you this one is because he gets so mad. And
Yes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and it's just that it's just so telling to me that it's like the way he spazzes out on Candace. I don't know. The guy's got real anger issues.
Yeah, I've seen him. So when I see him do just regular news, sometimes he'll get a little passionate or whatever, right? But I did see it's on Rumble, whatever that show is. I think it's called Wartime or something, or the War Room, maybe. But he just goes off every show. He's super aggressive, very rude to the guests and that kind of stuff. I had no idea that he was that type of person. Yeah, exactly. Tim, just shave your head. Can you find it?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, hot lips. I wasn't expecting that either. That's the first time I've ever seen that. That was crazy. I'm going to be scarred by that, I think.
Okay, here. So, so I do I do share screen? Is that what I do?
Yeah, so share with this share screen first, and then once you share screen, you have to present it after that.
Okay.
Yeah, Steven, I'm going to try and reach out to the Kirk family and also to Tyler and see if I can get interviews.
Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Stand by. Share screen.
Jordan Hinshaw, I believe the chat is the mixed chat of YouTube and X. I think it's everything that is combined is what's showing on the actual screen. Yeah,
Okay.
Ian of Zeus, we can see your comments. We can see them. There's a lot of comments, though. They're flying by.
Okay, here we go. Whoa, crazy. Okay.
That to hide his identity when he's in public. However, one day his beanie was unexpectedly removed, exposing him for having a drastically receding hairline and a near bald head. Understandably, Tim reacted pretty poorly to this and had kind of a tantrum / online meltdown for a few days.
I don't know why I fucking wanted that. So these motherfuckers.
Sorry for the language.
Recognize me when I'm on the
I forgot it was that bad.
Which, again, I get, like, he didn't want his beanie removed and it kind of exposed an insecurity of his. And in doing so, it gave anyone who disagreed with him the ultimate firepower. If Tim had reacted nonchalantly, it might not have been as big.
I think that was kind of the gist of it, but
I think I agree with Mike. He says saving back head hair is ridiculous. Yeah, if the top's gone, just get rid of the rest.
you know.
Tyler Robinson, skinny.
Apparently it goes on to show and say that, like, I guess if you need to get at Tim, then go for the hair talk, the beanie talk. That's like his kryptonite.
And I don't. He has a lot going for him, right? He has multiple businesses. He owns properties. He has a skate park. He has games. He has every. I mean, he has plenty of money. But for some reason, he really wants to hold on to this podcasting stuff. Yeah, Jordan says it's not his voice and it's not even synced. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, they want to get back to the real story. I'm sorry, you guys. We got a little off course. It's been a hot minute.
Did you want to do your recap on the interview today?
Okay. Sure. Yeah. We're in it's after midnight. Okay, well, are you guys still in it? I mean, are y'all ready to go to sleep? Yeah, I'll just kind of rewind a little bit on, in case you didn't see it, or if you just want my hot take. Oh, using simple to distract us. Oh, the Erika Kirk. Oh, you want me to go Max? Okay. So, Erika Kirk, Barry Weiss, and the interview / town hall that was really just a whole lot more propaganda, if you ask for my opinion, which I think that's kind of what y'all are here for. It started off with Barry already being super, super sympathetic for, no reason, and not sympathetic in like a kind way, but just already making excuses, I would say, for Erika, and right off of the top. They had lined up all kinds of people who would, and it clearly was already like prearranged questions on both the CBS side and the town hall. I mean, these weren't even like general public people who were there, to Erika, and it just all felt really staged. But of course, what should we expect at this point? It was a little more of the same. But all in all, oh yeah, Weiss. Okay. We didn't hear any real tough questions. We got to the toughest question, I guess, was the infamous one that they used in that little teaser trailer that we saw about what would you say to all the conspiracy theorists and Candace Owens who have, talked about Egyptian planes and guys in maroon t-shirts and think that you could be Mossad and whatnot. What do you want to tell them? Stop it. Which just so happens to correspond with the name of Charlie's book, Stop. In the name of God.
Someone said, "What's with the Egyptian planes?" Do you have the information about that?
So just stop. So the Egyptian planes, I have committed to staying in my lane and not going on the Candace train on this one. But the Egyptian planes are something that she's been, kind of working on. No, I guess that's the long answer. What would you say, Matt, about the
The
Egyptian
summary.
planes?
Yeah, the summary of the Egyptian planes from people that have looked into it, including Baron Coleman and Candace and some other people. I think Ian as well, Ian Carroll. Basically, there were 60 plus different flights in recent times of Egyptian planes that always happened to seem like they were in the same area as Erika Kirk. So they may have been tracking her. They, may have been I don't think they were hunting her down or whatever the allegations are, but just very, very strange.
Same place, like same time, Now, we don't know that she wasn't on, on board, ever on board some of these planes, but what the allegation, I guess, or the not even allegation, the inference that Candace was making, right, was that Erica seemed that the planes seemed to be following, right? Following Erica?
Yes. Or just happen to be
Happened to be in the
in the same
same
general area.
general area. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was odd that Erica said, instead of acknowledging that part, she said, "I wasn't on an Egyptian plane when I was pregnant."
Which was not the allegation. But
Yeah.
Stephen Felici Jr. makes a good point. Tucker confirmed the Egyptian planes as well.
That he looked at the information
His
himself.
sources confirmed it.
So, yeah, that was good that he at least stuck his neck out to back up Candace in that regard. Wasn't there someone else who also said that they looked at the Egyptian plane information? I was thinking there was someone else who came out as well. Anyway. What else was there today? Oh, the other interesting person who was there was Tucker.
Hunter.
Excuse me, not Tucker. Hunter Kozak. Like, what was Hunter Kozak doing there? And
who was that for people that don't know?
for people who don't know, Hunter Kozak was the guy, I say kid, but the guy probably in his, early 20s, who was asking Charlie the question at UVU about mass shootings and trans people involved in shootings at UVU when Charlie was when the alleged shot rang out. And so Hunter asked a question to Erika, and Erika's answer said something. I don't even remember now. Sorry, at this point, it's been a long evening. But her answer said something like, "Well, you know my heart." And that was so weird to me. It really stuck out to me and some of our other viewers this evening, because it was like, hold on a second. Erika, how would he know your heart? Do you guys know each other more than you've previously let on? Which to me, I have thought maybe so, because I think that they were all lined up ahead of time before the event. I think there's a whole lot more to the arrangement of this and choreography to this event than had previously, or than meets the eye.
Yeah, Mr. Turpin says surveillance planes were collecting data. Steve Cameron says Hunter's a bad actor. He had to rehearse his reaction, which, yes, we see that on camera, right?
Something
It's
like
filmed.
that, yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And yes, Hunter was on the UNF America tour. He was on their website. I don't think that he is on there anymore, but Hunter was had traveled around the country and made himself a real nuisance at TPUSA events, and was known to kind of be a disruptor, very anti TPUSA.
And he asked a question to Erika Kirk tonight.
So he was very respectful. He even looked very different. He was very polished. And Hunter was also on 60 Minutes. Probably a month after the UVU shooting. So, he's made the rounds. And yes, his dad is a Jimmy Kimmel producer. And y'all might remember that Jimmy Kimmel had to go off of the air for a while after the Charlie incident. I mean, all of these people are tied in together. It is just crazy.
I thought I heard too that his whatever company he was working with during that time period, he was no longer listed on their website, like whoever he was associated with. So it's kind of like the Dan Flood disappearing off TPUSA's site, and Brian Harpole and those people kind of disappearing as far as work goes. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Were they given too much information? Are they being too public? Did they get in trouble by their handlers?
Right. And for those who might not have caught this part, Dan did well that the whole the majority of that security team did go on after the incident at UVU to continue to protect Erica at, say, the White House and at other TPUSA events, because you better believe I was, many of us were watching, but I was watching even at these college events. I that happened, in the weeks after UVU. I was zooming in as close as I could to the video footage from all those subsequent events to see who continued to make the cut, and those same guys continued to work. I can't imagine after, Charlie gets shot, keeping the same team on, but they did. I mean, it was just a lot of the same old that you would come to expect. A lot of it was just really, I mean, to me, it was really cringe. There wasn't anything that was super groundbreaking. It was a lot of not answering questions. Uh, I think you can watch it if you, want to hear the same old spiel. Or if you haven't heard a lot of her interviews, like for instance, my dad, I'd shared earlier, my dad had not been watching any of this stuff over the last couple of months. And it was very interesting for him to take it in as kind of a first timer and to hear his impressions and they weren't good. He could see right through it.
I'm just looking here. You remember a few minutes ago when I read that piece from Hunter asking her the question?
Mhm.
I'm in the exact same article and I refresh and it's not there now.
What?
Interesting. Huh. Well, they are the kings and queens of scrubbing social media.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least we'll have a recording.
Hmm. They're listening. They're
Yeah,
listening.
they are. Well, I hope you hear us loud and clear.
Can you tell them to stop, Kelly?
That's okay. I've already told them all my secrets. It's fine.
I mean,
We're
they
fast.
listen to everything.
We're
They know
pretty
everything about
fast.
everyone.
That's okay. We're pretty fast. Oh yeah, why did someone yell "stay down"? That is a great question. I have only, and I'd be curious if a happy hoarder, if you have identified that in multiple videos. There's only one that I know of for sure that I have heard that in. Matt, do you know if you had heard the "stay down" in multiple videos?
So when I spoke to Audio Freak,
Mhm.
who I interviewed on my channel, and then also Algeist was saying that it was near the Losi Center. It was one of the mics picked up over there. It wasn't near the front.
Interesting.
So it wasn't from the audio that was near Charlie. It wasn't near the front, the courtyard area where the tent was. It was actually from way further back by the Losi Center. Which
So
is still
what do you make of that?
with where it was, I would have to ask Algeist. I can ask him and get back to people, but it sounded like it wasn't like the timing didn't really, nothing really came out of it. I mean, just like playing devil's advocate, it could be someone's filming and someone gets in front of it. They're like, get down.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so, but like I said, I'll talk to Algeist. I'll email him and see if there's anything, because I assume he would have mentioned that as being something super important if he thought it was.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I just there's just so much orchestration that goes on in that small period of time that I have to think that it was intentional, that it wasn't just a coincidence.
Let's see. So, a Happy Hoarder and Divine Foundation. There's a couple people talking about the microphone, the audience microphone that Hunter them, how the security was, or I guess the sound guy, whoever it was, wasn't allowing people to touch the microphone.
Mhm.
So, I've heard from many sources that the microphones never are allowed to be touched at these events.
Yeah, I agree. For as many, I've wanted to mention that to you and some of the other folks as well. That I concur. I have watched so many of the previous campus debates, and that is consistent. They get very touchy, irritable if somebody does try to touch the mic.
Can you share my screen there really quick?
Yep.
I found this interesting too. So they always tape on this Rode Wireless Pro. So Charlie was wearing one, and then they tape one to this. So if someone were to reach up and touch any of this area over here or this, it would cause noise in both of these mics, especially this little wireless one. And that's what they use for social media. So that's probably the main reason why they don't want people touching it, because it would disturb that audio.
Now, did we talk about one of the things that I was wondering was, could Hunter have been wearing a mic? And could that have been a reason why there was that mic interference when he walked up and approached the microphone?
Okay, so if you have a very high input from the mic and high speaker level, as you get closer to the mic. So if you ever watch someone like in a performance, so as I'm back here and I'm talking, it won't make that hum noise or like the feedback
Mhm.
sound. But as I move closer, it'll go,
Mhm.
right? I think that's what it was. I think his mic was too hot too, just like Charlie's was. So I
Right.
think when he came up, then it started a feedback loop.
Yeah. I just thought maybe if he, by chance, if he was wearing a mic, so if someone was, say, at the Losi Center, someone who is far back, right? And they did need to fire something.
So
Okay.
to sync it with the audio and hear it so they know when to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Because they're
so
going to be looking through a scope and not looking at, say, Dan Flood or anybody else, right? And or maybe they could be wearing and so like they'd have an earpiece in or something, and they were looking for that audio cue of him asking the question.
yeah, I mean it's definitely possible. They would have to use like a radio one though, like a Rode Wireless Pro would not go that far. At least not well. But
Mhm.
there are definitely ones that are very affordable that they could do that with, yeah. So in
Yeah.
theory, that could
I
work, yeah.
mean, even
Mhm.
a cell phone or a something. I was just wondering if maybe he could have been wearing.
Well, cell phone's traceable, so they probably wouldn't have used that.
Okay, just for the sake of thought, I don't know.
Mhm.
Been wearing something that could have, as he approached. Yeah, because I've just thought, who, I don't know, what could have been the reason why it gave that feedback and been able to cue somebody who was far back. Anyway.
Let's see, Steve Cameron says, "Anything new on the TPUSA funny money dealings in Arizona strip mall parking lots?" So we kinda talked about that earlier, but long story short, there's nothing illegal happening, and the whole parking lot thing was kind of debunked, as not being a crime. Like, there's nothing wrong there. A lot of owners will own mini mall strips and buildings and use that address for various different LLCs and shell companies and stuff like that. So there was really nothing there, at least not yet. Let's see. Jordan Hinshaw says, so could that be the person on the roof talking to someone through a phone? The person running? Is that who you're talking about, Jordan? Yeah, some people are mentioning Al Geist. Yeah, so he actually I don't know if I'm supposed to expose this or not. Let's just say a very big creator who's very popular that many of you probably watch, has a very big channel. He is going to release another interview from Al Geist, I believe tomorrow. Well, actually probably Monday or Tuesday. I won't say who because I don't want to ruin the surprise.
It's exciting.
Yeah, he's getting his exposure.
Good. That's amazing. I see Jerry Howard's in the chat. Crisis management roleplay actors, Air Squib. I know, bud. That's where you know I am at. But I continue to maintain space for other options. I was talking about what Kelly was saying, but that was a while ago. Oh, sorry, Jordan. I missed you. But interesting stuff. Beagle was saying that they work in AV. They adjusted the audio for the environmental conditions before the people arrived. Hold on. And then they started having trouble when the people filled the venue. Maybe, but there was a lot of the feedback was someone else had said the feedback was a nothing burger. Yeah. Could be.
The feedback has nothing to do with voltage. As far as voltage going through the system and that kind of stuff, it's just a sound being cycled over and over and over again and added to itself. It's additive and keeps growing in volume.
Yep.
See, someone said the UK audio guy is interesting. Yeah, that's Matt with Audio Freak. He's a pretty awesome guy. I still talk to him. We've done a couple interviews together, but he's pretty sharp.
Man, did anyone else have any other thoughts on Erika tonight? Is there anything else? Is there anything that Erika could say at this point that would change your thoughts or opinions on her or the direction of TPUSA or?
You should do a poll.
Okay.
Do you think? So
ahead.
based on your question, for everyone that watched it or got the breakdown from Kelly, do you think, put a Y in the chat if you think that she impressed you or kind of got you to her side, or put an N in the chat if you still think that she's evil and there's something wrong with her? So Y for she's better since this interview, or N if she did terrible? On 3, 1, 2, 3. In evil. Wow, mostly ends.
Matt, you might be the lone soldier on that one.
Oh, I just put one random. I don't believe it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just so I see a marker from when it starts. Jordan Henshaw says, which interview? It's the one she did today.
Yes. So she did well, it wasn't live, but she did a quote unquote town hall for CBS with Barry Weiss. It was an hour long. I guess Barry Weiss is the new, what do they call her? Editor-in-chief of CBS News. Come here, Preston. Come here, buddy. Yes, you saw a couple of clips probably of that. It was fully released tonight. And I'm sure it will be all over the Sunday morning shows and repurposed all over the news tomorrow. And then don't forget, we've got TPUSA's AmFest. Oh wait, let's see. So now we're the 14th. Is the 15th? Is that when they're going to be doing their big on Monday? Is that when they're going to be doing their big tell-all that Candace is not invited to? Or
do you think they're still going to do it without her?
I mean, I guess.
Is it going to benefit them if they do it without her?
They said they were going to do it, so why not? You think they'll blow it off? Okay, now that'll be in our, let's do that as our next question. Okay, so you guys, will TPUSA follow through even without Candace on Monday the 15th on their big live tell all to give all their side of the story? Put in the chat 1 if you think yes, they are going to do it, and 2 if you think no, they are not.
Now, my thought process is they're probably going to do something, but I think it's going to be a big nothing burger, kind of like this interview with Erika today.
Probably so.
They're going to go through the motions. Who is this?
This is Preston.
This fine young chap. We have a mini Dotson. He's
Oh, really?
Yeah, the long hair.
He's a Pekingese. Oh.
Giving kisses.
Yep. And then I have a Shih Tzu down there also. Say hi, Preston. Yeah, they might put it on the CK show. What do you think the chat?
It's looking like we're mostly ones. So looks like a lot of people think it's going to happen, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be anything worthwhile. That is crazy. Okay. All right, and of course, everyone, make sure you hit the like. Show Kelly some love. And I'm not sure what they call it on X. What do they call it? Hearts. Make sure you hit the hearts. And
whatever it is these days. Hearts. Yes, all the things. Repost.
Hit the like, subscribe.
Repost the space. Yes. Yep. Follow. All the things. We've been putting in the work. It's been, make sure you follow Matt because he's new to X. So Trigger Smart. He does such amazing work, and I'm really glad that we've been able to connect and do some great collaborations this week. Man, we've been knocking it out of the park.
Very impromptu as well.
Yes, which is fun. What's a gift tree? I don't know what a gift tree is. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm getting kind of tired. I'm sure Matt is too.
Did you want to leave them with final thoughts on Erika today?
Let's see. Final thoughts. Well, I don't know for me if there's anything that she could do to really change my mind on things. She's had so many opportunities at this point. And the more that I see, the more she scares me, frankly. The more evil she comes across. Like I said, I wouldn't want her to touch me. I wouldn't want to be in the same room with her. I feel that strongly about her. I've never said that about anyone in my life. And so it's very I have to say that because it bothers me that much. Sorry. But I mean, I've seen people in the chat saying that they agree. There's just something there. So I feel really, really bad for Charlie, for if those kids are real. I feel bad for them. Maybe that's why she doesn't have a problem. Oh, I know. This is one thing. Actually, this is a final thought that I'm going to leave people with. She had the nerve to say something like, basically that people have a choice between one of two things. If parents are going to choose between going to Pilates and sticking their kids in the corner to watch, on an iPad or an iPhone for 10 minutes or not. Like they can either become what she said, something like become an assassin or become something else. I mean,
Wow.
whatever this woman is saying does not even make sense. And I'm thinking like talk about polarization and insanity. She is so disconnected from reality. And the irony that she is all traveling all over the place with her kids nowhere to be seen. In as a single parent myself, okay? Like I just cannot get down with that. So anyway, I sorry, it gets me really, really riled up because I'm very extremely bothered by it.
All right, so let's end with this last comment. And everyone, we thank you, of course. Like we said, like, subscribe, hit the like on the way out, hit the hearts on X. If you want to follow me, I'm Trigger Smart on YouTube and Trigger Smart HQ on X. And Kelly, thanks for having me on. But I'll read this last comment here. It's kind of amazing. So, Florin says she needs to sell that eyeliner. I've never seen anyone cry and not run their mascara.
Hey,
And with
don't.
that, have a good night.
That's a perfect way to end. Thank you so much for giving us just the mic drop moment. Good night, everybody. Thank you all so much. Bye. Bye, you guys. It has been so much fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all made my night. And come back soon. Maybe I'll be back on tomorrow night, okay? So subscribe, like all the things. And yeah, this was so fun. Y'all are gonna make it so hard for me to like hop off this live because this is so much fun. Thank you. Y'all gave me all the energy to stay up, so thank you. Good night. Good night, good night, good night. And yes, feel free to send me messages. My Instagram is Kelly R, Kelir. My oh my gosh, TikTok is KELIRABON, and YouTube Kelly Raybon. My X, Twitter, Kelly Raybon. I think that was all the things. Yes, no, you hang up. So please feel free. You can send me a DM on any of those things if y'all want to. If y'all want to chit chat about any of this stuff, if you have questions on any of the things that I didn't get a chance to chat about, or if there are any of the things that you want me to make sure to include in tomorrow's stream, I definitely plan on coming on tomorrow night. Sunday night will be a great time to get on and chat. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And yes, go Max. So I am like, this is my dream to get to go on and like really get to speak my truth. Man, this is amazing. Thank you guys so much just for giving me an opportunity to be able to talk about this. And I really appreciate y'all keeping your eyes open, keeping your hearts open, and caring, because I think for far too long, so many of us have just gone on autopilot and taken a back seat to things and just let the world like roll right past us. And we can't keep letting that happen, because if we do, things get a little too far out of control. Hey, please let Valhalla. I wish I would do a live with them too. Valhalla, Ian Carroll, Baron, Jesse on Fire. I watch all of them. So, hey, Mississippi Girl, I would love that. Let's manifest that. Feel free to send them some messages on my behalf. That would mean so much to me. because that probably means more, you trying to like advocate for me. But I can reach out to them too. Let's see. Erica is really Erica and the kids were dumped up. Hey, look, yeah, thank you. Will y'all please let them know? I mean, I am a truth teller. I'm just here to do what I can for the common good. you know, and fight for what's right. And we do need more women in on this. The reality is that women have great intuition. I know that I believe that I have fantastic intuition, and I see things that a lot of the guys don't see. And it's funny or interesting, we'll say, that from early on, how many of these guys that I have tried to tell, and I would be sitting there watching these live streams, and I would be like talking to my TV, talking to my phone, being like, but you don't see this, you don't see this, you don't see this. Come on, please. Like, come on. Man, and they just didn't get it. And then I'd be in the comments, typing. They didn't see it. They don't read the comments, whatever. Yes. See, you were calling Erica fake from day one. You call a spade. They were too nervous, whether they were too nervous to feel, and we feel things, we see things. And even when we don't want to necessarily be that person to call out because it's uncomfortable, we still know that you got to do it. I remember, and my friends, my mom will tell you this, my girlfriends will tell you this. I personally called up people and saying like, hey, I really want to talk to you about what happened with the Charlie Kirk thing. I don't believe what happened. Like, I don't believe the narrative. I am really concerned about, what I'm seeing with Erica. And I laid everything out in real time. I remember I told my mom after watching Erica's address to the nation, I said, Mom, I was like, this is like this is worse than a Lifetime movie. I'm like, Lifetime would never. I said, this is going to end up bad. But I didn't know that it was going to be a day in, day out Netflix like series. This is wild. Now, one thing, Kelly, and I see need more live stream interactions by content makers in real time. I love that. And one of the things that I've considered, and I wanted to start this out really early on, but I didn't have an audience, so I was like, well, this be a waste of my time. I mean, I still really don't have an audience, but maybe after today I do. Who knows? I was like, maybe I could do office hours. I mean, is that something that you guys would be interested in? Could we do office hours and we could go through research? To me at this point, I'm tired of holding things to myself, and I don't really care if, I would much rather collaboratively share things with other people and try to work together to solve things, get multiple people's perspectives. Now I see some people saying, my parents still buy the media narratives. And look, I feel you. I get it. And sorry, my dogs are playing. Preston, Preston, come here. Oh, goodness. There's Paco. There's Paco. You hadn't seen him yet. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Okay, come on. Oh, gosh. Okay, so, oh, did I freeze? All right. Yes, some kind of members only. All right, that's a good idea. So maybe we could, I'll look into that. I'll look into that. See if we could do a members only live. But I agree. Collabs at the end of the day, they benefit everyone. And yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, you all send me messages. Let me know what you think. If you have any specific ideas. Oh, hey, okay. If you have any specific ideas about how we can work together, and keep me posted. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thanks again, you guys. I really appreciate you spending your Saturday evening. And with that, I think I'm going to call it a night. This has been fun. And we will talk later. Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Good night.